Welcome to the Jeff Canada Show. But if you're going to get your feelings hurt, you might need to turn this shit off.
All right. How you guys doing? Welcome to the Jeff Canada Show. I am Jeff Canada, your host as usual. Just wanted to go through and talk about a few things that have been going on. Last week, last Wednesday and Sunday, I played over at Cactus Jack's. This is a new place out in Baytown. This place is badass, and it's going to be a really cool live music venue. Currently, you have to bring your own sound, but they're having a whole sound system set up. They're having design for the room right now. It's a very, very, very cool venue. Y'all go check it out. It's called Cactus Jack's in Baytown, right? Almost like the Mount Bellevue border, not too far from the Whiskey Barn, which is another cool venue. Friday, I played at the Moonshine Deck in Magnolia, and I did a trio with Dwayne and Brian. Had a great time out there at Moonshine Deck. Another really cool bar. You know, it's usually pretty busy, so if you get a chance to play a show out there, you know, get your show out there. You'll be able to make some fans. And then Saturday, I drove out to Conroe, Texas, and I played at the Loco Coyote, which is one of my favorite barbecue spots. A little small spot, but it's, man, such a cool crowd. I had a great time. I always have a great time playing there. So go check out the Loco Coyote in Conroe, Texas. Cool spot. This past Monday, I went into the studio and started tracking the new record. Our goal is to have the record done by November, and it released in January. That's the goal. The cool thing about it is we're going to try to release a small little documentary about the album at the same time. So we're filming footage for that as well, which I think is going to be pretty cool. And then yesterday, I went and I sat down with an entertainment lawyer, and I'm making sure that I have all of my licensing and all of my different streaming or different income streams worked out, because I think I'm leaving a lot of money on the table with post going viral and that sort of stuff. So I got him looking into that, and he set me up with a tool that's going to start tracking all my cost and all my income a lot better, and also my routing. It's going to start tracking my shows and all that stuff, so I can go back and look at where I've played. Also, if I need future routing gigs, I can go look. It's a really cool spot. I suggest every single person that's doing this for a living to set up an appointment with him. If you're interested, shoot me a message. His name is Chuck Floyd. Really cool dude. But if you're interested, shoot me a message on any of the social medias, and I'll get you his contact information. Highly recommend that anyone that is doing this reach out to him. And I think, you know, it's a little bit of a money up front, but man, it can save you so much headache in the future if you'll do it. And just do it right the first time instead of like I've been doing it all these years and just kind of winging it. So I'm stoked about that. This coming up week, Thursday, tomorrow, I got to go to the fucking dentist. Not happy about it. Last time I went was the first time I've been in like 10 years. I didn't have any cavities. Hopefully the same thing happens this time. We'll see what's up. Friday night, I'm playing at Lakeside Oasis. That is out in Onalaska, Texas. Cool little restaurant, great food, cool little vibe, good bar. It's good times. Saturday, I'm going to be doing a benefit for the fire department, Liberty County Fire Department, and it's going to be at the County Line Club in Liberty, Texas. I'm going to be playing at 4 o'clock, 4 to 5. Then I'm going to haul ass back here and pick up my woman, and we are going to go out to the cook-off. So that's what's going on. That's what has been going on with me. That's what's going on with me. The new record, so many cool new things going to be happening. So thank you guys for all the love and support. So with that said, the next portion I want to talk about, I kind of want to do a little monologue. What I want to do is I want to do a public apology. That's what needs to happen. I want to do it. There are certain musicians that I've had an issue with and have had an issue with me, and there's some of them that I've doubled down on, and there's some of them that I talked a lot of shit about, and I don't want to be that guy anymore. I don't want to be that guy. I'm not making this apology because I give a shit what they think about me. I just don't want other musicians thinking that I'm going around talking shit about people all the time, and I don't want my fans thinking I'm talking shit about people all the time. So here it is. Here's a public apology. I want to publicly say I am very, very sorry for ever saying anything negative about Stoney LaRue. I'm sorry. Daniel Holmes, I'm sorry. Jake Bush, I'm sorry. There's a few other ones, but those are the three that I've been the most public about. over the last few years. And, you know, I don't have any ties with those guys. Two of them, as y'all know, I was fairly close with and was trying to do some shows with and stuff, and it just didn't work out. So I sincerely, from the bottom of my heart, I apologize to all three of those guys, but more importantly, I apologize to my fans, and I apologize to any other artists that have ever heard me say anything negative about those guys. I'm sorry from the bottom, and I mean that. I'm not doing it. Again, I'm not doing this for any other reason than to, I'm growing as a person. Every day I'm growing. And every day I want to be better than I was yesterday. And that is just a negativity that I don't want in my life anymore. So I have vowed that I will never say anything about those guys ever again after this, after here. I'm not just not. They can do their thing. I'm doing my thing. With that said, you know, one thing that's a huge flaw of mine and has been a flaw for my whole life is I just can't keep my mouth shut. You pair that with someone who is a fixer, who likes to fix things and who likes to shed light on things that are broken, and so we can come up with a better way to do it. When you put those two together, it's just bad news, because when I see some bullshit, I feel like I have to call it out. You know, I did it about Texas radio. I did it about those three artists. Before that, I did it in the Houston cover scene. Made a lot of enemies because I would try to put my advice out there, and people just don't want to hear that shit. So, you know, I just want to be a better person. I don't want to focus on any negativity at all, anything. I don't want to focus on any negativity. I just want to focus on moving forward and smiles and doing what I got to do in my career, and I'm going to be doing my thing. So if there's any other artists out there that do things that I don't agree with, y'all just keep doing y'all's thing. I don't care. I'm going to do my thing. I'm going to shed a light so bright that people are attracted to me, and that's what I'm going to do instead of throwing shadows on folks. You know, it's bush league. It's not cool. It's amateur hour, and I just don't want to be that type of artist. Now, don't get me wrong. If somebody screws me over personally, I am going to absolutely call them out. So I am not backtracking from things like Buc-ee's. I'm not. Fuck them. And I will not, you know, unless the owner wants to come on this podcast and explain to me why their policies are their policies, I'm not interested in anything that company has to do or say. But, you know, the thing about those other dudes is they didn't really do anything to me. You know, I witnessed some things, and I felt like it was my responsibility to call them out on that, and it's just not my responsibility to call them out on that. It's not my responsibility to call out, you know, Texas radio and who is and who isn't spending money on Texas radio. You guys spend your money on Texas radio. Y'all do whatever y'all want to do. And I'm going to focus more on what I got going on in this room, what I got going on in my relationship, what I got going on with my kids, what I got going on in my career and shows. That's what I'm going to focus on. And it's going to take a little bit, and I'm probably going to trip and fall because it's the number one flaw I've had my entire fucking life. My entire life. And you can talk to anybody who's known me from a little kid to now. It's always been something that I've struggled with, and I want to get better about it because I need to be better for me, and I need to be better for y'all. And so that's it. That's what we're doing. I'm striking their names from my vocabulary. I'm doing away with all the negativity, and I'm just focusing on Jeff Canada and the people that are around me. And that's what I'm going to focus on. And again, I hope that I haven't turned off any of you guys. I'm sure that I have. But, you know, I love my fans, and I love what I do, and I love being on stage, and I don't want anything to come in between that. Again, I'm still going to be opinionated, Jeff. I'm still going to talk shit about mass things. I'm just not going to go after certain individuals or certain entities anymore because it's just not doing anybody good. Those people are going to do what they're going to do regardless of what I say. And all it does is just adds negativity in the room. And I just don't want to do that anymore. So that's it. Now, that's enough of that shit. Here we go. This episode is, I got my good friend, Mr. Zach Jones, on the episode. Zach was born with a handicap. Although if he tells everybody that it was a shark attack, he was born with a handicap on his right arm or left arm. I can't remember. You'll know on the podcast. On one of his hands, it's his strumming hand. So his right hand. He was born with a handicap. But he's overcome the handicap. He's become a really good guitar player, a really good songwriter, a good dude. He's a young kid. Got a lot of growing to do for sure, but man, he's on his way. A great kid and super talented. So if you get a chance, go check out Zach Jones at one of y'all's at one of the bars or whatever around Montgomery County, dude. Go check him out. He's really good. And he's got a band together now. It's just really cool to see somebody that's born with a handicap like his and overcome that and do one of the hardest things there is for people with two good hands to play guitar. So, and he's figured it out, and it's great. And so y'all check out this episode. Y'all check out this episode of me and Zach Jones talking shit. Y'all check it out. All right, welcome to another shitty episode of the Shitty Jeff Canada Show.
I didn't even know the name of it, man. I've seen it and still didn't know the name.
The Jeff Canada Show. I was like, fuck it, man. I'm not going to reinvent the wheel, dude. Like, I got Jeff Canada on everything, man. I got my good friend, Mr. Zach Jones, in the house today. He's a singer-songwriter from the Conroe, Texas area, right? Is that where you're from, Conroe?
Yeah. Well, originally Oak Ridge, actually, like where I'm at.
Same fucking thing. Dude.
Yeah, it is. Same zip code, honestly.
Yeah, Oak Ridge, whatever. Montgomery County.
All trash.
That's the way I look at it.
All trash.
Nah, dude, there's a really good side of Montgomery County, and there's a really shady side of Montgomery County.
I'm not in the good side, bro. we even gonna get into it.
I don't know. I think anything. Yeah, I'll just
just leave it there.
because I'm from Montgomery County too, but I'm from East County. So, yeah.
Oh,
so we'll just leave it there. I'll talk. Yeah. Listen, you know what's funny is I'm very, very, very proud of where I came from and the way I was raised. You know, I was raised with small town values, and I was raised, not the best as far as ideology goes, but I'm talking about more of like the safety and security of small towns, and more of like community raising.
Everybody knows everybody.
Everybody knows everybody.
Looking out for each other.
Right. And if somebody sees, if somebody saw one of us kids out doing something we shouldn't do, I mean, they would jump our ass. You know,
100%.
You didn't have to wait for the parents to come around. You didn't have this mentality now where it's like nobody can say anything to anybody.
Oh.
You know what I mean? Back when I was a kid, it was like if you were acting up in the grocery store and your mom couldn't get you,
somebody was
going to get you.
Yeah, somebody was. And that's how I grew up too. Like we grew up all on like family land.
Same here.
We called it the compound and everything.
Same here.
And so it didn't matter. Like if we were acting stupid or something, we got in trouble for it.
Yeah.
And it wouldn't matter if it was my mom or, my great aunt or something like that.
Yeah. Shit, where I grew up, it was like strangers.
Ugh.
Not necessarily strange, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know, man. It was different out there, man. It was different. What year did you graduate high school?
2010.
Oh, okay. So you're a noob. How old are you?
32. I'll be 32
okay.
April.
Man, 2010?
Yeah.
Fuck me. I mean, you're only 12 years younger than me.
Yeah.
13 years younger than me. I tried to do math last night on this episode, Bubba Wesley. I'm not a mathematician.
Oh, no.
That's part of that Splendora education, man. I didn't that didn't take.
It feels like growing up, I wanted to be a pilot and all that stuff, and my teachers were like, "Well, you got to understand math." I was like, "We got calculators."
Yeah.
And I went through flight school for a little bit, and they're like, "Well, you can use your phone." I'm like, "See."
Oh yeah, dude, man, don't even get me fucking started on the school system, dude. Don't even get me started, or it'll turn into a political bloodbath.
We won't go there.
By the way, so I've been eating this like high protein, clean diet with no sugars or anything, and yeah, man, these Monster Rehab drinks.
Are they good? Is it sugar free?
Yeah. Well, I think it has 4 grams of sugar for the whole can.
That's low.
But it has it doesn't have any of the other shit in it. But I really want to get a sponsor.
Do it, dude.
I really want Monster energy drinks, but I only want the Rehab. So can we start a whole Monster? Can we start a whole campaign on
hook 'em up, guys?
On Rehab? I started drinking this when I drank a lot.
Yeah.
Dude, and you pop one of these and you're like, fuck, dude, I feel great.
And I kind of, speaking of that whole drinking a lot thing, I kind of took a note off of your whole thing of what you've done with the no drinking shit that you got going on.
Oh, yeah?
By the way, very proud of that. And, like, it used to be, like, I would drink like crazy. And, I mean, it wasn't like a crazy level. It used to be where I'd wake up and start drinking, go to work drunk, do it all, rinse, repeat.
Yeah, I never did that.
So I calmed down. And then here recently, like, I've noticed that, like, I was sitting out by the fire with my cousins the other night, and they're like, "Man, you want some whiskey?" I was like, "No, I'm good. I'm good. So I've noticed that I'm starting to slow down even more. And I kind of just thought about it. I was like, man, it's not fun anymore.
Yeah.
It really isn't. And I'll have the occasional drink, you know, like when I'm out singing and stuff like that. But like when I'm on stage, I don't drink. I might have 4, if that, tops.
Yeah.
And that's it. Like New Year's, I cut myself off. I was on number 3, and I was like, I'm done. Don't let me have any more.
And I know there's some people that are listening to this that aren't professional drinkers like we are, or we were, or I was. And they look at that as like, you've had 4 drinks, because 4 drinks, like 4 drinks will fuck Candace up. You know what I mean? But what people don't realize, man, is when you're out in the bar scene and you're drinking, you know, you're drinking almost every night, even if it's 1 or 2. But a lot of times you're drinking 15, 20, 25, and people can't grasp their heads around that. Like, I've had so many people come out to shows in the past and try to go toe to toe with me drinking, and you're not going to win. I mean, we literally do this for a living. Like, it's, you know, and I used to drink like it was a sport.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I have a cousin that'll tell you don't do it. He drank with me one time. He wanted to go toe to toe, and I was like, "You're gonna mess up." He's like, "I got this." Well, turns out he didn't have it, and he'll tell you straight up. He's like, "Don't do it. Don't do it."
Yeah, there's only a few people that I've been around that aren't artists or comedians that can hang, and usually they're like special forces operators or Marines or you know, like man, like those guys can party, bro. But even then, back in the day, I would still drink them under the table. And I'm not bragging about that, but it just is what it is. You know, it's like anything else. When you do it every day, it just becomes easier.
Yep, you build a tolerance to it.
Right.
And I went out one time with my dad, and we were shooting pool and having some drinks, and then ended up taking shots. And he thought he was outdoing me. I was like, no, we can keep going.
Yeah.
He goes, I'm okay. I'm all right. I'll be fine. No, we're good. I think we both walked out of the pool hall like, whoa.
Yeah, I'm not like that anymore, man. Like, I took a shot of Jameson on Friday night for my birthday bash. I took 1 shot, and if I'm gonna do one, I'm doing Jameson.
You're gonna do something.
I'm doing whiskey.
Might as well
I'm doing whiskey.
Yeah, you might as well do it.
And so, yeah, if I'm not gonna waste my 1 shot a year or 1 shot every 3 months or whatever on some fucking fruity bullshit, you know what I mean? I want to. But man,
Starfucker.
But what was crazy? No, none of that shit. But what was crazy is, man, like 10 minutes after I hit that shot, dude, I was like, damn. So now I can kind of relate, because I couldn't relate before when these servers would be like, shift shot, I want a shift shot. And they get off work and they take a shot, and I'm like, God, I needed that so bad. Like, I was always looking at them like, how does 1 shot even fucking register?
Yeah.
But now I'm like, oh, okay, 1 shot. Like, I mean, I wasn't drunk, but I was like, it kind of felt it a little bit, you know?
We were doing
which was cool.
We were doing a 4-man jam at Marshall's not too long ago, a couple months ago, I think it was. And my buddy Tyler Trantham, his boss was there, and he ordered us some shots, and they're called Rooster Tails, and it's pineapple juice. It was vodka, I think, or tequila. It was tequila, and then V8 juice.
They should call it unicorn tails, because that's gay.
Yeah. Well, I'm not the biggest shot person. Usually they go down and come straight right back up. I mean, instantaneously.
Oh, really?
I'm going for the bathroom or a trash can. I don't know what it is. I can I can drink whiskey and Coke all night long.
Yeah, I get you.
And this shot literally tasted like ravioli, bro. I was like, that is disgusting. Disgusting.
Yeah, that's terrible. I don't like anything. I love pineapples just in general. I like to eat pineapple, but I don't like anything. I don't like pineapple in my drinks or anything like that.
No. I'm just a whiskey and Coke kind of guy. It's simple. It works. It does what I need it to do. Why go the extra mile?
I used to be a whiskey and Coke kind of guy. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you mean. I know exactly what you mean.
I'm just kidding. That's something that's funny too, because I've written about it a little bit in my music, but I never was like a big Coke head. I just maybe 10 times in my life I did it. Maybe, you know.
I've never done cocaine. I've honestly.
Well, now it's too late. Now you're stupid if you do it.
Yeah.
Like if you're, man, it scares me because we're in the music scene and we're around artists, and drugs are like a big part of this industry.
Oh yeah, 100%.
And that goes from anywhere from weed, guilty, mushrooms, guilty, But like it goes all the way to I know a lot of cats that take Adderall every night just to be on stage, man. And
They got to get that upper, and then they get done and take that downer.
right.
And that's how it was back in the 80s and stuff.
Yeah, but the difference is now, if you go by back then, if you got a bad pill, it just didn't do anything to you.
Yeah.
Or if you got some bad coke that was cut too much, it was just bad coke. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was like you're not gonna. But now you get bad shit. Now it just kills you.
Yeah, it's laced with something, but like
Fentanyl, dude. And so I think multiple times a week it enters my brain which one of my friends am I gonna lose this week.
Yeah, and I think
because of this fentanyl issue.
Unfortunately, I think that it's gonna happen sooner than later.
I mean, it's already happened, but like I'm always worried.
Yeah,
And
the good thing about like that I've noticed, like with me, the worst thing I could say I've ever done is smoke weed.
Yeah.
And
which is not bad.
No, not at all. But it's not something that I do personally.
Right.
But I grew up with the whole, my dad did some stuff like that when we were younger, and he grew up always, I'll bash your head in.
Right.
Which is fine with me.
Yeah.
I respect my
That's
dad.
the way I was raised too.
I respect my dad to the ends of the earth. He's the only person I fear on this planet.
But what's really funny now is my dad grows it now.
Yeah. Well, it's funny. It's funny because he's like,
not in Texas. He doesn't grow it in Texas.
He's don't do that shit. Don't do all that stupid shit. And
well, they're part of a grow house in Oklahoma. They're part of a
Is he?
investor. Yeah.
That's badass.
And so my brother is the same way. It's really funny how things change because, like I said, I was raised pretty hardcore right wing, and dope heads this and drug heads that and all this and lump all drug heads into one category.
Yeah.
If you smoke weed, it's the same as people that do meth, and it's not the same.
No,
it is not the same.
Mm-mm.
But what's bad now with the fentanyl issue is in the past, you had to you always had that friend that was on the edge, and so you had to worry about them.
Yeah.
But now it's just our brothers and sisters and cousins and nephews and nieces and somebody that just got prescribed a pill and then can't get the prescription, so they go out and they try to buy one on the street.
I got a few of those that I worry about.
Yeah.
I got a few of those that I worry about.
But I had a friend of mine whose daughter, this was a while back, who was in college, and she bought some Adderall pills off of TikTok, and she took half.
Off of TikTok?
Yeah. Happens every day.
That's like going and buying something off of Temu.
That's like buying something off anything, but still, it's like you're not getting it from a reputable source. And she took half of a pill, and they found her dead the next morning.
That's terrible.
And so this was a long time ago, but now it's happening all the time, man.
Oh yeah, and it's so easy for younger kids to get it.
Right.
And like I'm not gonna say names because I know the people that did it, but I knew some kids that were in 8th grade and 7th grade selling shrooms.
Yeah.
Selling shrooms. And I knew the person that was giving them that.
I want to meet those kids.
No shit. No shit. They don't do
it
anymore.
That's too. You listen, man. I'm one of those firm believers that anyone under the age of 25 needs to be very, very careful of what they put in their body.
I've always growing up when my parents would tell us about all the shit that we shouldn't be doing, and like I said, I fear my dad more than God and the devil himself, but there was always not like methamphetamines or anything like that, but like I'm sure if I was younger at the time and was like, Dad, I want to try cocaine, he'd be like, okay, maybe, let's see, let's talk about it, and then we can do it in a safe environment.
Yeah.
And that was always the thing with drinking at a young age too.
Right. Same with me.
A safe environment and stuff like that. And
we would go to the fucking deer lease.
Ours was always at the house.
And get fucking trashed.
My dad be there drinking with us and stuff like that. And then we got older and started drinking, and it wasn't the same. I felt like when we were younger, it was like, oh, we're cool. Yeah. And I'm just like, all right, whatever.
We had a deer lease and in Cut and Shoot right there in Midway. And it was like 10,000 acres of Champions Forest, Champions Paper Company's property.
Nice.
And so we had this deer lease.
Still got it?
And no, I mean, it was my uncle's. He passed away. I'm not really. He worked for the company for years. I think it's a subdivision now.
Oh.
But man, we would go out there with me and my cousin Booger. His name was Booger.
Booger.
My cousin Booger and my brother and his girlfriend and her sister and me, and we would go out. And I'm talking about, I'm like 13, 14 years old, dude. And we would just get piss cock drunk, dude, where you're just like. So, man, I've been drinking. I think the first time I got drunk, I was like 10 years old, maybe even younger than that.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I walked over to my grandma's house, and we same thing. We lived in like a family compound thing.
Mm-hmm.
I walked over there, and she had like this thing of wine,
Oh.
and I drank the whole fucking bottle,
Oh.
dude. And then I walked all the way around, and I went to my house, and I came to the front door, and just I was out. It was out.
The first time I remember like drinking like without my parents' supervision. They knew what was going on. We told them we were going next door to our friend's house when we lived up north to play some video games. And, well, we went over there drinking. I mean, we were drinking Hennessy Hypnotic, you know, and
Hell yeah.
bunch of Mexican beers.
Mad Dog 2020.
Ugh. It was rough. Boone's Farm, you name it.
I remember we used to buy those bottles of Arbor Mist wine.
Ooh.
There was like a bottle like this big, and you get them for like $2, $3.
Aren't those the box wines?
No, they're not box wines, but they're not much.
I'm not a
better.
wine person
They're not
at
much
all.
better. I'm not either. But this is like sparkling. You know, it's like Mad Dog 2020 or
Yeah.
whatever. Just
Worst
wine-based shit.
Worst hangover of your life.
Ugh, so bad. Hey, do me a favor. Straddle that cable so you don't that one, yeah, so you don't move that camera. Yeah, man, we used to have to go because I grew up in a dry area where you couldn't get alcohol, so we had to go to Joy Juice, which was on the other side of Cleveland, and so we'd have to hitch a ride up there, and then we would pay somebody to
Buy you shit.
to score some booze.
Nice.
So bad, man. Like such a fucking degenerate.
We went over there next door to our friend's house that time, and they were like, no drinking over there. We're like, all right. They knew. They weren't stupid.
Yeah.
And
Oh yeah.
it's like 4 o'clock in the morning. Mind you, this is when we lived up north in Utah when my dad was in Oldfield. And I come home stumbling at like 4 o'clock in the morning, hammered. Stumbled through the door up the stairs, up the stairs to my bed, and wake up the next morning like 8 o'clock. It was like, I felt fine. Of course, I'm young. You know, my body can handle it. My mom's like in the kitchen. She's like, you have a good night? I was like, yeah. We played some video games. I'm a kid trying to play it off. She's like, did y'all drink? No.
Oh, they know.
No. They knew.
Yeah.
They knew. My mom's in there making all the loudest noises she could. It was bad.
Yeah, it's funny, man. My mom, she's not with us anymore, but I remember I was like a senior in high school, maybe a junior. I think I was a senior, maybe both. I don't remember. But my stepdad passed away, and so my mom was kind of dating this dude that lived in town, and so she would a lot of nights she would spend the night over
At his house.
or whatever, right?
Free range.
And so we
chickens
had
you were.
right. So we had just whatever, and I remember one night it was like a Friday or Saturday. I was in theater, and I had a bunch of theater kids over at the house.
You were in theater?
Yeah, I was.
I was in choir.
And I had a bunch of the theater kids over at the house. And I'm talking about 10, 15, like a lot. And so we started playing like strip poker.
Oh.
And so I got like 8 or 9 half-naked chicks in the house. And then, you know, there's like 3 or 4 of us dudes, maybe 5 of us dudes.
Theater kids are wild.
There they are. And you know, and we're I think it's like spin the bottle or some shit, doing some crazy
7
shit like
minutes
that.
in heaven.
So we're like going to rooms and making out and shit. And I think I was in the room with a girl, and my mom came home, and she came into the house just flipping her shit, dude, because all these naked teenagers in her house, dude. Oh man, the good old days back when repercussions weren't real.
Yeah.
You know, you might get your ass kicked from your parents, but
That was it.
yeah, that was it. Now it's,
You do anything wrong, you get in trouble these days.
yeah, I couldn't, man, I would not want to be a kid. Like, I
No,
would not want to
no.
be like a school age kid.
No,
right
and
now.
I'm so thankful that I grew up when I grew up, you know, in the time frame generation that I did, because I look now and see that these kids, it's just a mess.
Yeah, dude, it's insane. I mean, the school system was the school system was never great.
No,
Like
no.
public education, at least in my lifetime, has never been great. But it's so bad now. And then also, you know, the big difference, like, you know, this may upset some folks, man, but we need bullies back.
100%.
We need bullies back. And everybody's like, and I already know what you're thinking if you're kind of on the left wing side of things. You know, it's not because I want my kids getting bullied. That's not why. You know, I think it's wrong.
Tougher skin.
But the problem is, man, is you got these kids now that are, you know, when I was a kid, if you had some kid come to school dressed up as a fucking furry and wanted to shit in a litter box, we would take that person, we'd shove his head down a toilet, and it was
100%.
called a swirly.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or every day we would, not necessarily we, but somebody at the school would
Yeah,
pick on 'em.
we sure.
No, I'm serious, man. I was never a bully kind of guy, dude. It's just not my deal.
I mean, I got bullied. I mean, look at my fucking hand.
I got bullied. I started to get bullied. I'll tell you a story here in a minute that was pretty funny. But, you know, but that's not there now. So now our kids are getting to 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th grade not having to deal with any real adversity because they're so sheltered and there's so many rules about what other kids can't do.
They're soft.
They're soft, you know, and same thing with like sports and not having competition in their lives and that sort of stuff. So then when they get up in there in that grade, and then that's what causes all these fucking school shooters. Yeah. You know what I mean? They don't know how to deal with adversity. And so they're going to take out somebody that fucked with them. If we bring back the bully, you know what I mean, and let him toughen these fuckers up when they're in school, then they don't get, and then they go to college, and that's what happened. Then they get out in the workforce and they realize, oh shit, like life is hard.
Yeah.
Dude, 21, 22, 23 years old is too late to be finding adversity for the first time.
Like, I have a lot of stories because of my hand. So I was bullied growing up.
I was gonna bring that up. Let's talk about the elephant hand in the room here.
The elephant hand in the room.
Let's talk about it.
Let's start it off with how we met and how that whole thing came about with you. So,
well, first of all, let's talk about your hand real quick, just to let everybody know what's up. So that was something you were born with, correct?
Yeah. Well, I tell everybody I got bit by a shark though, and I got the best story, and everybody fucking believes it.
That's awesome, dude.
Gullible as shit, dude.
Yeah. Got bit by a shark, made my hand fucked up.
I'll tell them I was about 7 years old. I was down in Galveston fishing with my dad, and I reeled in a shark about that big, and I went to get it off the hook, and it bit me right there. And that's why I got a scar. And they're like, "No shit." I'm like, "Well, yeah, you're dumb."
Man, but what I really like about your attitude about it, though, is like, I mean, you've had it your whole life, obviously.
Yeah.
But you don't use it as a crutch.
No.
You don't shy away from joking around about it.
Fuck.
You know, and so that's what I like.
My thing is why. So I want to put on a benefit like charity thing for kids with limb deficiencies, and
is that what they're called, limb deficiencies?
yes.
Okay.
So I want to show them that you can do with my music. It's not just about going out there and singing and doing what I love. It's to show people that you can really do what you set out to do. You know.
Yeah.
And I want to show the kids, because I'll tell you right now, your parents can sit there and tell you, "Hey, you got this. Don't worry about it. You're going to be fine. You know, you're tough." Sure. You'll believe it to an extent.
Yeah.
To an extent.
Right.
But deep down inside, you don't always believe it, and you always feel like you know you can't. So I want to show them that, hey, look at me. I'm in the same boat as you. You can do it.
Yeah.
And so, yes, I was born like this. I was actually born like this.
Gotcha.
It was like this, and I had 6 fingers, one right here, and they took it off, which is fucked up to me.
Yeah.
I can count to 11.
Yeah.
Nobody else can count to 11.
That's mean.
Oh, fuck.
You got mean parents. Your parents are fucking.
No, it wasn't their whole thing. It was the doctors.
The doctors are bullies.
They kind of did it without approval.
Oh man.
Yeah. So
that's like cutting off an inch of your dick. You know what I mean?
I could stand to lose a couple inches. No, I'm just kidding.
I'm the opposite of that.
We're fucked. But yeah, no, I was born like that, and growing up was, I wouldn't say it was super hard. I have an older brother who is very, very protective. If he doesn't know you and catches you even still to this day, you say one thing about my hand and he doesn't know you, he's probably not going to even ask questions. He's probably just going to haul off and hit you and start beating ass. And I can't tell you how many times he did it in school.
Yeah.
It was just...
That's good and bad.
It's good and bad.
It's good to have a brother like that.
Yeah, it was. I definitely had a good background with that. I mean, I dated a girl who felt sorry for me. I didn't know it, and I was dating her, and I come around the corner, and my brothers just got her up against the locker, just screaming in her face, not hurting her, but scaring the mess out of her. And
because she was talking shit.
No, her best friend, I guess, felt bad and told my brother that she was only dating me because she felt sorry for me, that I wouldn't get a girl. Well, have you know, I do just fine.
Yeah, that's weird because it's not like it's your wrist down, right? Like it's not.
No, I feel like it's the whole arm. I mean, as you can see, it's
Or it's your one arm though.
Yeah,
like
it's
you
my
don't
one
have
arm.
any disabilities
no.
mentally
I
or
will.
well, yeah. And never mind, I know you, but you know what I mean. Like it's your one arm. You
Yeah,
know,
yeah,
it's
yeah.
not like it's not like it's disgusting.
Oh,
You know
no.
what I mean? It's just is what it is.
This kind of sometimes creeps people out. They're like, oh, I'm like, what? They're like, that don't hurt. I'm like, no.
Yeah, I'm one of those guys, man. I like that kind of stuff just doesn't bother me at all. Like I don't even. It doesn't even register in my brain.
Yeah, and a lot of people it doesn't register. I was out one time. I was dating this girl, and I was out at the bar, and a guy walked up, put his arm around her, and I thought he knew her. You know, we hadn't been dating that long, and I thought he knew her, and she was going to introduce me. And then he looked at her and goes, "Why the fuck are you with this crippled kid?" I was like, "Hold up, wait a minute."
Yeah, I will punch you with this fucking nub.
Yeah, I kept my cool because I'm not really. I'm more of a, I guess you could say I'm more of a pacifist. I really just too damn lazy to fight. I mean, we can reschedule if you want, but if I have,
Pacifist singular.
yeah, I will if I have to.
Sorry.
Shut up. Okay, English is hard, okay? But so growing up, it was rough, but now it's another thing. Little kids are the best though.
Yeah.
Like they'll be staring. Like I'll be walking, they'll be like you know, like when you're younger, you seen a hot girl and you're like, wow.
Yeah.
And but kids, they just stare, and I'll go look at them. I'll go like that, and they'll jump real quick. I'm like, yeah.
Well, it's funny because when I first met you, I think I first met you in person. Was it out at Montgomery County Fairgrounds last year?
Yes, when I came up and took that picture of you picking your nose.
Yeah.
That's I was gonna put on a shirt.
That's when I first met you, but I never saw you play.
Yeah.
And then multiple people brought you up to me, right? And they were like, dude, you got to check out Zach Jones. He's so good. He's so good. He's so good. And me, I'm immediately like, oh man, they're only thinking that he's good because his hand's fucked up and he figure out a way to play, right? Just because that's the way everything works. But then when we played for the first time, or I saw you play for the first time,
That was at the Madeley.
yeah, at Table Madeley,
Mm-hmm.
I was like, fuck, dude, this guy's really good. And like, if you don't look at you, if you don't watch you play your guitar, you can't
Tell.
audibly tell there's anything
Yeah.
wrong. You've definitely overcome that, which is really fucking cool, man. Because what I'm trying to say is, it's not like you're good because you have a deformity.
Mm-hmm.
You're good because you're fucking good. Like you're good. You're good. Period. Like you're, even if
appreciate that.
if you didn't have that, you're a good writer. You're a good singer. You're good. So yeah, man. You can be good at something even if you have.
And see, mine was all self-taught. Like I didn't have no. I tried to.
You have to.
Yeah.
I mean, who's going to teach you?
I tried a guitar instructor years and years ago, but he couldn't get off of playing Freebird the whole time. So I was like, fuck this. So I just sat down and and just started doing it. Just started looking at stuff, learning. And I mean, I'm still not like where I want to be with it, but every day's growth.
Yeah.
Every day is growth. Like there was one time where I couldn't play a B minor to save my life.
Right.
Now it's second nature.
Yeah.
Are
you naturally left-handed or right-handed?
born right-handed? So everything had to be taught. Like I had to learn everything.
You write with your left hand?
Yes.
Yeah.
And that was growing up. That was probably the hardest thing. Like there's still things I can't do. Like I can write with it, but will you be able to make out what it says? Probably not.
Well, I'm left-handed, and you can't read my handwriting.
Oh, well,
so.
I'm not saying mine's pretty by any means.
Yeah.
My
handwriting looks like I'm writing it with a little hand.
So we got to get on the story of that real quick. So when I first met Jeff, when we first actually like really, really talked and we exchanged information, we were at the table of Madeley and Conroe. He comes up and we're talking. We exchanged information, and I text him my number, and I said, "Hey, this is Zach Jones, Little Hand Jones, or some shit like that." And he goes, "I don't know if I want to laugh at that." I was like, "Well, if you don't, we can't be friends."
Yeah.
And what's my name in your phone?
Zach Little Hand Jones.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Yes.
That's what's funny. Like, I'm not the kind of guy that's gonna crack jokes about something until I know it's okay to crack jokes about something.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, to me, when I look at someone who has a deficiency or a deformity or something like that, I automatically just want to be cool. It's like I don't even want to acknowledge that it's there. I just want to meet you, and I want to get to know you, and I want to be cool. Yeah. And then, later on, once we become friends, if we want to talk about it, but like with us, it just immediately started being joking around. And so now it's like, when we're hanging out, I'm like, "Hey, Zach, can you give me a hand with this?" Or just any of that shit, dude.
Just a hand.
You know what I mean? Like, because now it's cool because we're there.
Yeah.
But I'm not the kind of guy that would make fun of somebody without getting to know them first.
And I agree with that, and I think you should, and that's the proper way to go about it. Like, I've seen a lot where people just automatically assume, what type of person they are, or they just automatically start cracking jokes. And I've seen stuff on social media, and it's wrong.
Yeah.
To me, it's wrong personally.
Agree.
Because of my background with my hand, and I think, like you say, get to know somebody first.
Yeah.
They might be a good person, they might be a terrible person, regardless of what they look like or how their body is. It's like the whole don't judge a book by its cover.
Yeah, for sure.
For the first time in my life, I truly got called cocky the other night. I was at my friend's show.
Sweet.
Not gonna say names.
No, listen, getting called cocky in this industry, that's a badge of honor, bro.
Well, they were like, I got told the story because this person didn't like me, and I could sense that they didn't like me. I'm pretty good at reading people. And so I was talking to my buddy about it, and he was like, yeah, they don't like you. They say you come off cocky. You're always saying that you're sexy as hell. First off, hold up, wait a minute. How can a motherfucker with one little hand say he's sexy as hell all the time? Don't say that. I don't think I've ever really said that. If I did, it was 100% in a joking way, and I laughed it off because I know it's not true. Like, there's cocky and there's confidence, and I'm very confident in what I do because I've blood, sweat, and tears through what I do.
Yeah.
And cocky, I mean, maybe sometimes in certain circles for jokes, but not like in a serious way. I've never been seriously cocky about myself.
Yeah.
It's all confidence.
Same here.
And
most people that use cocky in a negative way it's because they're not used to someone who's secure, and they're not used to being around someone who's confident. They're probably insecure themselves.
Yeah.
They probably don't have the outspokenness to be confident about anything. So the only thing they can do is come up with a word like cocky to tear somebody else down.
Yeah, we know I'm definitely outspoken.
Yeah, same here.
I don't shut the fuck up.
Yeah, same here. And but I'm not cocky. I mean, I'm confident for sure. I know I'm good at what I do, but I'm definitely not. I'm not a cocky person. But there are some people think I am, and that's okay. You could think whatever you want to think about.
Yeah,
me.
you know why?
Yeah.
I'm still gonna go to bed and sleep just fine.
I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, I'm gonna go to sleep. I'm gonna wake up, same person.
Yeah,
was just as happy as I was.
Right. Your negative opinion of me does not affect my.
And see, it cracks me up going back to the whole how I was raised by my parents and how I was bullied growing up. People talk shit today, and I'm just like, do you really honestly think that bothers me?
Yeah.
I've heard worse. I promise.
Oh, I'm the same way, bro. Not only that, when you dish out as much shit as we dish out, when you talk as much shit as we talk, you better be able to take it.
Yeah. It's like the other night, my buddy, his girlfriend, and I've heard everything about my hand. Like, you name it, they've called me it. Finally something new the other night, and she's like, I'm going to start calling you Flappy Bird. I was like, yes. I was, she barely knows.
Fucking Flappy Bird.
She barely knows me. She knows me. We've hung out a couple times as a group and stuff.
Yeah.
And,
Is she hot?
No, I mean, not in my opinion. That's my girl. That's my buddy's girl.
Okay, gotcha.
She's a pretty girl, just not my taste.
Gotcha. Okay.
And
about to say, because if they're hot, they can say whatever the fuck they want.
Yeah, I mean, anybody can say what the fuck they want. I don't give a shit. But it was the fact that she called me Flappy Bird, and I've never heard that one before.
That's a good one.
Ever heard that one before? I was like, yes.
Have you ever heard "Let's talk about the elephant hand in the room"?
No, not the. I've heard "Let's talk about the elephant in the room" and not the elephant hand.
I had to do it.
No, it's fine, man. I love it.
Yeah. I love you, dude. I mean, I think you're badass, man. I like jamming with you for sure. And then you came over here one day and we just kind of hung out and played guitar and just kind of talk shit. And it was a lot of fun. So I think it's cool, man. I'm anytime someone overcomes like this world, life is so hard in general for period. Like just for someone who has, all 10 toes and 10 fingers, it's already difficult.
Technically I have 11. I do technically have 11. It's still there. It's just they cut it off under the skin so you can't see
You know what I mean? Like it's already difficult for someone who has all of their normal faculties.
Yeah, oh yeah, 100%.
And so when you throw like a disability or a deformity in there, it's obviously going to be more difficult, but it's all about mindset, right? It's all and that's with everybody. It's all about mindset. It's the way you think about things. It's the way you do things. It's the way you go through your life. If if you have that that victim mentality, you're going to view everything as an attack, and you're going to be on edge, and you're going to be ready to fight everybody. I know people like that all the time.
Oh yeah, 100%.
So it's really cool to see somebody who has overcome this challenge in their life, has become really good at what they do, and can joke around and be funny about it and be dumb and goof off and it's inspiring to me to see people that do that, you know. And I think you doing this this thing, and especially you being an artist, man, like that, you should really think about starting a nonprofit that is
we are looking
for
into
this.
it.
You know, and go out and dude, I got guys that will like team up with Love Hills Youth and those folks, and you know, and anything that has to do with kids, they'll help out.
Yeah.
I would love to help out and be a part of that too, man.
Absolutely.
Anything I can do, because man, anytime we can do something to show our children that overcoming challenges is a very important part of life.
The way I look at it is, you know, a lot of people, they think about the future and stuff like that, and really the only thing that I think about when it comes to the future, like I'm focused on the here and now.
Same here.
You know, but the only thing that I think about, like as far as like what I want to achieve with the future, is like when I'm done with everything and I'm laid out for the rest of my life, you know, just chilling, retired or whatever, I want to be happy with what I did.
Right.
I want to be like, feel accomplished in that sense. You know, I could be dead broke poor.
Right.
But I want to be happy with what I did.
Right. Well, if you're living in the now, I can tell you this from experience. If you're living in the now and you're not living in the past, and you're not overly planning for the future, and you're like really living in the now, I promise you, when you get to where you're going to look back and be happy with what you did. Because guys that live like we live, we don't let opportunities pass us by because we're focused on the now.
Mm-hmm.
We're a lot more optimistic about things because we're not worried about the past. The past, the past. You know, we're living right now, and we're taking advantage of every opportunity we have right now.
Oh, exactly.
So if you live like that, like you're talking about, when you get to where you're going, you're going to look back and automatically be happy with what you did because you did everything you want to do because you were living in the now.
There's a song there, by the way.
Probably so. I'm sure there is. I'm sure there is.
No, like if like a year ago, I was doing really, really good with my music. You know, we did about 120 shows last year, and being my first real year of it, that's really good to me. And I know there's other guys, you yourself, you know, you're doing way more shows, and that's you know, good. But I was stressing at the same time. You know,
I mean, 120 shows is a good number. I mean, there's 52 weeks in a year.
Yeah.
So that's a little over 2 shows a week.
Yeah, I was running 3 shows.
Yeah. I mean,
shows a week.
that's about
2 to 3.
I'm at probably, you know, I'm not in the days where I used to do 300 shows a year. I'm not doing those anymore. I'm doing probably 220, 215 now.
Yeah. But see, like I was stressing at the same time. I was burning myself out. It wasn't enjoyable. And
I feel you.
So I took a step back. Like I was living in an apartment, you know, it was 612 square feet. I was paying right at $1,000 for this fucking hole in the wall bullshit and car notes, other bills and stuff like that. And then I was just having to push hard. I was having to grind like a motherfucker just to get these shows so I could afford those bills.
Right.
Well, I took a step back and I was like, what can I do? I don't want to live here anymore. So I took a step back and I was like, well, I can go live with my grandma's, you know, on her property, save money, you know, and live a little easier and focus on really, really what I want to do. So this year, like I've noticed, like I was happy then, but I've noticed I'm a lot happier now because I'm not stressing about it. Yeah. You know, I'm not stressing about it. My bills are taken care of. I got money left over. I'm having fun with it again.
Yeah.
You know, it was a job back then. Now it's not. You know,
yeah.
I don't feel like it's a job.
Yeah, I mean, that's the boat I'm in right now. I mean, the boat that I'm in right now is I have to play a certain amount of shows so I can live.
Mm-hmm.
I have to. So I have to play shows that I don't necessarily want to play. So those are soul-sucking. I can't and I'm turning down because I don't have the money in the bank. I'm turning down opportunities that I should be doing. Like I should have been at Steamboat this year. I should be at Mile Zero Fest right now.
I whole ass thought you went to Steamboat.
No, I didn't go. So I should be there though, right? I should have been there. But I can't go because I can't afford it. And so that's my goal this year. My goal this year is to set myself up financially so I don't have to turn down any more opportunities.
Yeah.
That's my goal. So I've literally, dude, I've given away. These are the things I've done. I've given away my PlayStation, right? Because I was spending a lot of time playing PlayStation. I've pretty much given up every hobby that I have. Like I have two things I do. I hang out with my girl or my kids, or I'm working.
Yeah,
that's it. I mean, I've got this podcast started. My goal is, here in by the next few months, I want to be putting out 3 a week. 3 a week. I want to be putting them out. Pretty much every other day, I want to put one out.
Hell
and
yeah.
so I don't know if I can get there, but I will. And I feel like if I can get there, then the money will start coming in. Because I think if I start putting out that much content, then the sponsorships will start coming in, right? And if I can get, let's say $2,000 a month in sponsorships for this podcast, you know what I mean?
You'll be good.
Then what that does is that allows me to not do $2,000 worth of shows.
I think the goal of it is, in all of it, in the whole sense of it, whether it's the music or the podcast or anything like that, I think the goal is to get to where you can just do what you're doing and love.
Right.
At a relaxing
and
pace.
breathe.
And breathe, yes.
Right.
And breathe.
Yeah, and that's what I can't do, and that's what I haven't been able to do for the last couple of years. It's such a fucking grind because, I have certain bills that I have to pay. I can't not pay these bills, right? I can't not pay my child support. I can't not pay my rent. I can't not pay my car note. I have to pay those. So the money I make has to go to that first.
Yeah.
And then hopefully there's enough left over to go in the studio or to record or to buy a piece of equipment or to take a weekend off to go do something. Or, the one thing that's really hurting me right now is I'm getting some offers to open up for some bigger folks. But those opening spots on these shows only pay like $500. And so
my name is Zach Jones.
But my problem is that if, it takes me $900 just to pay my band for a show.
Oof.
So $500, I'm automatically taking a $400 hit.
Yeah.
I'm losing money. And I can't afford to do that right now. So that's, like I said, that's my goal. My goal is this year, I'm going to push as hard as I can for the first 6 months to make as much money as I can to set myself up to where I can just breathe and just take advantage of some of the opportunities. I'm not scared of the work. I'm not scared of the hustle. I'm not, if I start getting this money, I'm not going to slow down the work.
No. And I mean, I've seen your hustle.
Yeah, I'm not slowing down.
Even when we weren't, we weren't friends, anything like that. Before we met, I seen your hustle. I mean, I knew you through other folks like Trent Cowie and all those guys. Yeah. And I seen your hustle. I knew that you were out there grinding, and I've watched you from the back, pew, just watched you slowly climbing more than you already were. And now that I see the stuff on your Facebook page and stuff like that, and your birthday bash at Sawyer Park and all the other stuff that you're doing, and I see it, and all the songs that you've written and released and stuff like that. Back to Texas is still my favorite.
Thanks, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, I looked the other day, and I have 38 songs that I've released in the last 3 years.
Really?
Like, that's an album a year.
I'm working on, I'm trying to get one released right now. I'm working on Cut Ties, and I mean, I have one technically released, but I wouldn't go listen to it. It was 3 dudes in a closet releasing a song.
Oh, dude, there's nothing wrong with that.
Oh, it sounds the timing.
I hear so much stuff.
Timing's off.
I'd have to listen to it, but I hear so much stuff on Spotify now that is very low budget produced
and quality.
I don't know. I dig it though. Like,
yeah.
I dig it because I like the rawness of it.
Yeah.
I do that a lot. Like, I'll go in and I'll just do a video of me playing one of my songs, and then I'll take that audio. It's just one mic in a room. I'll take that audio and I'll release it on Spotify as an acoustic version.
Really?
Because why not?
What are you? Who are you releasing it through?
I use Smith Music for everything.
Smith Music.
Yeah. Yeah, those guys have been a great partner of mine, man. Like, DJ, who runs kind of everything over there, he's super honest and forthcoming. And like Back to Texas, he actually sent me a message. And he's like, hey, 9,600 of your spins on this song, Spotify's saying are fake. And so, and I know why, because we paid one of these promotion services to push it once. And
how do you get fake spins? How does that?
It just is what it is, man. It's bots, and I won't do it again. I did it one time. I think that now, after talking to multiple people, because the thing is, this is the problem, right? Is those numbers are so important.
Well, yeah.
because of booking and stuff.
Yeah.
But now I think everybody's starting to realize that a lot of them are horse shit.
Yeah. And I think,
and so I was just trying to get that number up to like 10,000 listeners, monthly listeners. And I did. I think it got up to like 18,000 monthly listeners, and I did that. But now it's dropped down to, now it stays between like 3,000 and 5,000. But I know that those are like real listeners, because I'm not doing any of the shit.
See, I'm trying to find somebody that can, go ahead and release once, because Cut Ties it's finished. It just needs to go to mastering, and then I need to find somebody to release it, or I'm going to self-release. And I just got to figure if I'm going to self-release who I'm going to release it through.
Yeah, just go through Smith. They'll do it. I'll get you hooked up. Frank Jackson, the owner of Medley, he's the guy.
Is he really?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, the only thing they do, so here's the thing. What they'll do is after, I think, 2 years or 3 years, if your song's not getting spent at all, they'll send you an email. They're like, we're pulling this down.
Yeah.
Because it costs them money to have it up on their stuff, and I can understand that.
Oh, 100%.
But really, man, to be honest with you, dude, it's not that hard to get the spins.
Yeah.
Because you can I know people don't want to hear this, but you can make a playlist of like what I started doing this weekly jam playlist. Right? It's Jeff Canada's weekly jams. And what I do is I go through my release radar every week. I listen to all the songs, and the ones that I really like or I want people to hear, I will put them on this weekly jams playlist. Right? And then I'll post about it. I think I have like 10 followers on that playlist right now. I'm trying to grow it because it's new music that come out that I want people to see.
Yeah.
But what I do is I always put my current single on that playlist.
Nice.
So it's got like 20 songs, anywhere from 10 to 20 songs. Mine's on the playlist. And what I do is I pay for the family podcast or the family Spotify.
Mm-hmm.
And so I created a new thing, a new deal. And what I do on my laptop is I literally, when I'm not here, that playlist is spinning on repeat. So it's giving me spins, but it's also giving all of these artists spins for that week.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because I want them to get over that 1,000 spin hump
as well. Yeah.
Right. Because that's what sucks. If you're under that 1,000 and you go onto their page, it says negative or under less than 1,000, the less than sign, and then 1,000.
Yeah.
And so I'm just trying to help them get over that 1,000 mark, because really that's what
it's all about.
Yeah, that's what it's all about.
Yeah,
and it seems to be working.
Each other.
I'm Here right now. I'm Here is by far my fastest growing song. I mean, it's been out a couple months, and I think it's already like 15,000 spins just on Spotify. And I know that's not a lot compared to a lot of these cats.
Well,
but I've never been put on a major playlist. I've never, you know what I mean? I've never gotten what a lot of these other cats get. So, and if you can't get your song on a playlist, I don't give a flying fuck how good of a marketer you are, or you're not gonna get a ton of spins.
Yeah.
You're just not. Because who's going to listen to your music? Your fans. But they're not going to sit there and listen to your song over and over and over and over.
Well, I got one person that would. It's not my mom. I have a friend that just listens to my old song on repeat.
That's cool.
And I'm like, okay. I mean, are you not tired of it already?
Yeah. Dude, the new Shane Smith song, I can't remember what the name of it is. It's right there. I don't know if you can see it or not.
No.
I can't remember what the name of it is. The new Shane Smith song is just him and a piano, dude.
I'll tell you what I'm stuck on right now.
It's fucking insane, bro.
Let me see if I can find it. I got so many songs. I use Apple Music. Blue Collar by Kenny Whitmere. It's such a good song. It's one of those, 90s style country.
Cool. I'd like to hear that.
Yeah.
I'm not a huge, that's something that's funny too, is because that 90s country is like a big thing right now.
Yeah.
I've noticed a lot of people are doing it, and I'm just not a big, I'm definitely a Garth Brooks fan. I'm just not a big fan of.
Well, this is more like that song right there that I was just saying is more of a, I say 90s, but it's more of like a George Strait or Randy Travis style
just
song.
Like standard country.
Like a E with an A and a D, or like a D, A, G,
Gotcha.
Simple, like a.
Yeah.
Yes, it's such a good song with maybe like a walk down or a slide on it.
I listen to that stuff. I just can't write it. I've tried.
And see, that's the crazy thing with me is I can write that. Like we were at band practice the other day, and I was testing the band. I was like, hey, let's see how tight we actually are. So I was like, I'm just gonna start playing the guitar, and then you guys just come in, and we'll see what happens. Well, we wrote a song kind of more upbeat, Texas Red Dirt style. We were playing. I recorded it so I could write the lyrics down, and then I was like, let's try one more. And we'll change it up. We're gonna bring it down. We're gonna do something, that style, that Keith Whitley style, that George Jones style. And I noticed that I was making up the lyrics as I was going to that easier than I was with the Texas Red Dirt style.
Yeah.
But when I was younger, I super glued my radio changer to one station, and it was the oldies country station, and that's where it stayed. I super glued it so it wouldn't go anywhere.
Yeah.
And so technically that's really, really what I grew up on. And that was under
Same
my
here.
own. Yeah. And so like that's what I really, really love. And that's the kind of music that I want to write.
Yeah.
I like performing everything. I'll sing Coetzel from Coetzel to freaking George Jones.
Yeah, same here.
And so, and in between, like, I did Enrique Iglesias the other day.
We did Beastie Boys on Friday
Did you
night.
really? Nice.
We did Beastie Boys. We did Pearl Jam. We did Billy Squier. We did Guns N' Roses.
Hell yes.
We did Zoe from the band Rosie got up and sang Zombie.
Nice. Was this at your birthday bash?
Yeah, so what I did is I front-loaded the whole set with my originals.
Yeah.
And then the last set was just all
Party,
fucking
party.
covers. And
Yeah.
so I got a bunch of guest people up, and we did, like, if you were there and you were in the industry, pretty much you got up on stage
Yeah.
at some point. It was
I know
just
I missed it. I was in Sealy.
It was a cool vibe, dude. It was a fun time. It wasn't near as busy as what it was last year. It's probably half the people was last year. But, man, across the board, everywhere is slow right now.
Yeah.
Man,
100%.
yeah,
I've
the
noticed
economy's just got us. It's just got us to the point where people just aren't going out as much as they.
Oh, yeah. Oh, 100%. And how was it? How was having Candace up there?
It was awesome, dude.
Was it? Did y'all sing your song? Y'all song?
No, she sang Dreams.
Did she?
And, dude, she killed it, man. It was her first time on stage. She didn't look nervous. I mean, I can tell vocally, like, listening to the video that she was nervous.
Yeah.
But she wasn't pitchy. Her stage presence was great. She did a little kick at the end of it.
Is there a video of that?
I know she was, it's somewhere. I know she was super nervous. I know she was super. She told me she had to take her high heels off because she was so, like, weak in the knees that she was. So she sang it barefooted.
I used to be that way, man. Like, I used to be that way, and growing up, and, like, when I would do, like, karaoke contests, because that's where I started with singing karaoke.
Yeah.
And then I transferred over to this and stuff like that. But when I used to get nervous at all these competitions that I did, I'd go back and forth to the bathroom. I'd take a piss, come back out, walk around just pacing. My girlfriend at the time was like, "What is he doing?" My mom was like, "Don't worry about it. He's getting ready.
Yeah.
He's going to go up there and kill it." And sure enough, I would go up there and I would do really, really good.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying I'd kill it every time. Shit happens.
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
And I was doing a show. I practiced with this band like twice. We were doing a one-song competition with the band, and we had like 2 rehearsals, maybe just 1. I don't know. We did Anything Goes by Randy Houser. I'm standing on the edge of the stage at the pavilion, and Cactus Jack was there. And I'm standing on the stage just shaking. I am nervous as all get out. And he goes, "What's wrong?" I was like, "I'm nervous." He's like, "Why?" Just nonchalantly, too, like, it doesn't matter. He's like, "Why?" I was like, "There's a lot of people out there." He's like, "And?" Just like mellow tone. He's like, "What's the worst they can do?"
Yeah.
Say no.
Right.
Woo. And I walked on that stage, and all the nerves just went out the window. And ever since then, I got nervous for the first time the other night.
Really?
Yeah, because it was the first time playing at this venue, and it was packed, and they were eating it up. They were loving it. They were making requests. It was crazy good time. And I don't know why I was nervous, dude. I was like, what the hell?
Yeah, I can't even relate. Like,
Shut up.
No, I'm not even kidding, dude. I think the last time I was nervous, I was the lead we were doing a musical in high school called End of the Woods.
Mm-hmm.
And I was the lead. I played the baker, and I had to learn this whole thing because I wasn't given the part. I got the part because the guy couldn't pass on his report card. So I got the part like 2.5 weeks or 2 weeks before the show, and it's a 3-hour musical, and I had to remember all the music and choreography and everything. And so,
well, knowing that you know like 5 million songs already, that should have been easy.
Well,
for
no,
you.
it was. I did the script pretty quick. I think it took me a couple days to learn the script, and I had the script back and forth.
How do you do that? Like, is there a Is there a method that you have to learning stuff like that and learning songs?
You just have to do it. You
Just
have to. You
repetition?
have to say, this is what you have to do. You have to say, I am not going to use a crutch. I am not going to use a crutch. I'm going to get through this, and I'm going to learn this song, and you have to just learn it. And what I do, what I used to do, I don't have to do this anymore, but what I used to do is I would let's say I want to learn a song, right?
Mm-hmm.
I would pull the lyrics off of like the internet somewhere, Ultimate Guitar, somewhere like that. I'd pull the lyrics off of that. I would, and then I would take them and I would actually type them into Word. So I'd type them, right?
So they're imprinted in your head.
And then I'd pull my guitar out and I would sing the song, right? And then what I'll do is I will try to sing the first verse without looking. And if I couldn't, I would delete everything I typed, and I would redo it again.
Really?
And I would do that until I got the whole song down.
Really?
And like I'm telling you, this is not me bragging. I'm not saying I'm fucking a genius. I'm not saying I'm better than anyone. But right now, man, there's about 3,000 songs or so that I can do that I don't have to look at the words. I don't have to look anything up. I can just do it. But I've been doing this for a long time.
Yeah.
But what's nuts is once I learn something, because that's what I do. I focus on learning it.
Yeah.
Right? I say I'm not going to use an iPad at a show. I'm just not. I'm not going to do it. I want to perform the song. But I'll learn it so well to the point where I don't even think about it anymore. It's just muscle memory.
It's back in
and
your
once
stuff.
so what I do is, even when I'm writing a song, I will play that song once or twice every show. Right? Until I get so comfortable with it that's it. And even right now, I can go back, I can play a song that I haven't played in 10 years.
Yeah.
And get up and do it and have no problem.
Well, see, my thing is like I don't have an issue with like here lately. And I think I should probably go get it checked out. But like here lately, there's songs that I've played so many times that I forget the lyrics to, and that's not me.
Oh, that happens to me too.
That's not me. Like I can recall songs that I ain't heard in 20 years.
Right, but what'll happen is if you really pay attention, if you'll just really quickly go back and look at that lyric, because what happens to me is like it's like I'm a hard drive and there's a spot that's corrupted.
Yeah.
Like I'll have a song that I've played a million times, never had to worry about it, and then all of a sudden one line in that song will disappear on me. And then the next night when I play that same song, it's that same fucking line.
Mm-hmm.
And then the next night, and if I don't go back and read the lyrics and fix that corrupted hard drive, if I don't do that, I will never get back on track.
Yeah. It's like me with when I first started playing Much Too Young by Garth Brooks. Like
Love that song.
I don't know what it was. I could go home and just play that song no problem. Perfect.
Yeah.
Nail it every time. I get on stage, blah, blah, blah,
No, it happens to me.
blunder.
Dude, I went like a month and a half with not remembering the middle verse to Wagon Wheel.
Ooh.
And so when somebody comes up, I don't really like playing that song, but if somebody come up and tips me to play it, I'll play it.
Yeah.
And I got to the point where I was just making up the middle verse because I couldn't remember it. And then I finally went back and as soon as I went back and read the lyrics, I'm like, okay, I got it back. And then it doesn't. But
see,
happens. Dude, it happened to me on What I Got. I've been playing What I Got by Sublime. I've probably played that at every single show I've ever played, and I've played over 5,000 shows. So I've probably played that song 5,000 times, right?
just 5,000 shows? I'm going to need you to get that number up.
And man, like, dude, when that song disappeared, I was like, how can I not remember that fucking song, dude?
I saw a video. Everybody talks about how people have their iPads or their cell phones on stage. Like, I'm not going to lie to you. I have my phone on stage.
We talked about this last night. Bubba Wesley and I did.
And I have it on stage. And I've seen so many people bitching and moaning about, oh, you're not a professional. You're not a real singer if you got a phone on stage. Yeah, I think I should have it off the stage, and I should be doing my thing and enjoying the music. And, yeah, I'm still in the songs. But I also noticed that Cody Johnson and Luke Combs were using one. I just couldn't see it.
Well, a lot of those guys use teleprompters.
Yeah.
Like Aaron Watson had a teleprompter. So here's the deal. And I'll be real about this, right? I don't know if we've talked about this on the podcast or not, but there's two things to that equation. One is you as a lower level artist, and I hate using that term because I think we're all the same, but same thing with me. Like us as lower level artists, we don't have the luxury to do what the big time artists do.
Yeah.
We don't.
Oh, of course.
Right? Because people that go to see Cody Johnson bought tickets to go see Cody Johnson.
Yeah.
Most of the people that show up to your shows and show up to my shows did not buy tickets to see us play. They just happened to be in the venue when we play.
Mm-hmm.
So your goal right now is making fans.
Yeah.
When you're up on that level, bro, you could do whatever the fuck you want.
It's true.
Okay? And so equating that to what those guys are doing, if you get into that mindset on other stuff, it will really derail you.
Yeah.
But here's another thing. Those guys, they have their show down to a fucking T, right? And they're running on E a lot because they're going from town to town and they're on a bus and, they're playing, 4 shows a week, 4 headliner shows a week, 3 headliner shows a week.
I think that's the biggest thing that scares me about this whole industry is running on E.
Right.
I love my sleep. I really do.
Yeah. And when you're on the road, man, it's rough, dude. Trust me, it is rough. I've done it. And especially when you don't have a bus, you don't have a driver, and you're driving yourself. And you're going from town to town to town to town. And it's like by the time you get done, you're just like, I'm fucking spent.
That's why I think when I become famous, like I say famous, but like when I become to that point where I want to be, my shows are going to be like 4 o'clock in the afternoon, 5 o'clock. That way I'm in bed by 8.
Playing for the Lubies crowd.
Yeah, I'm in bed by 8.
But
I swear on it, man. I swear on it. It's going to happen.
But man, like this is honestly, and Bubba West and I talked about this last night, but there's a huge difference between playing a song and performing a song.
Yeah.
Okay. And I am a 100% believer that you cannot truly perform a song if you don't know the song.
Yeah.
And this is why magic only happens when you got the song down to muscle memory and you can start trying new things on stage with that song.
Yeah.
That's when the magic happens. And you're never going to get to that point if you're still focused on the lyrics.
And see, I got this secret weapon that I use that I think a lot of people don't have. I mean, if the crowd knows the song, then sure, by all means, they have that secret weapon. But I got a secret weapon. My mom's at every single one of my shows, and that'll be until the day I die, or until the day she dies, or she just can't no more. I like if I ever become where I'm having tour buses and stuff like that, she's gonna have her own tour bus. Like
that's awesome.
Her and her dog. Like there's no chance that I'm gonna be able to like, okay, I'm gonna go do this thing. You can't come.
Yeah,
she'll show up.
Yeah,
and I'm gonna hear a loud screaming at the gate where security's trying to kick her out because she wants in.
Yeah,
and it's a whole thing. She's the biggest supporter of my music she's at every show, whether she's got work in the morning or not.
It's awesome.
We come home at 3 o'clock in the morning. She's up at 5 going to work, killing it, helping me with booking and doing merch, all this crap, posting on social media with me, all of it. And
it's badass, man.
Dude, if it wasn't for her, I would not be where I'm at.
Yeah. Because
she's so driven like I am. She's probably more driven than I am.
Yeah.
But
that's good. Wish I had that.
She's my little secret weapon because she sits in the crowd and sings every song with me.
You just look at her and you can see the words.
And I know that she's going to remember them.
Yeah.
So I'll be sitting there and playing my songs, and if I feel like, oh shit, what's coming, I'll look at her.
Yeah.
And be like, all right, like there's one song that I sing from Austin Snell. It's called, I want to say pictures on my phone. He never released it. I just watch TikTok and read 1,000 times.
Yeah, he's so good.
Dude, if he doesn't release that song, I'm going to go to his house and make him release it.
You know him?
No, I wish.
Okay.
Oh, hell no, I wish.
Yeah,
no.
he's really good.
He is, but that song, it's just so, it's stupid good.
Yeah.
Like, it's just one of those songs, it's like, there's no way this song is that good. And
Dude,
you can only find it on his TikTok.
I don't know, man. People keep saying that no one's, like, music is not as good as what it once was.
Bullshit.
But, dude, last night I ate a couple of gummies and I was laying in bed and I just got done editing my weekly playlist that I put out, and I was just in there vibing, and I kind of went down this songwriting train and just this rabbit hole, and then I started texting my friends like Joey Collins, who just came down here and opened up for me on Friday. Super cool dude and super good songwriter, and Chris Cunningham, like a bunch of my songwriter friends, and I started like texting them some of these songs that were coming on, and then they start texting me songs, and so we started going down. I started going down this rabbit hole, and it was just like there is so much good music out there.
Like, do people not know who Zach Top is?
Well, the problem is, I mean, if you really want to get down to it, the problem is people are sheep.
Yeah.
The majority of Americans are just gonna eat whatever's being fed to them by
Last night we let the liquor talk.
right. Yeah,
Fucking stupid,
yeah,
dude.
Yeah. And so they're just gonna automatically go down whatever's being fed to them by mainstream whatever. And they're not. But if you are somebody like me, and luckily I've met a lot of my fans that are more like me that want, like, I don't want to listen to shit that I've heard a million times. I want to listen to shit I've never heard.
Yeah.
And I want to go down in different genres. And there was about a 3-year period where for 1 hour every single day I would listen to music I've never heard before.
Yeah.
I did it every day.
I do it all. I think I do it almost daily.
I still do it, but it's not as, like, I would like lay down and put my headphones on and like pull my phone out and read lyrics and like dive into the song.
Yeah.
Not just do it in passing. Now it's kind of like when I'm driving, I have it on, or if I'm sitting in here, I'll have it on, or whatever.
I think one of the best things that came out of social media right now, and I know this is not, I know it's not really biased, but like in my opinion, TikTok is good and bad at the same time.
Yeah.
Like, it's fucking trash.
For sure.
But at the same time, it's not, because I'm finding all these new artists. That's how I found out about Austin Snell.
Me too.
That's how I found out about Kenny Whitmer and Zach Top. Like, I'm finding all this new shit that I'm surprised my phone still works. I have so many songs. I have over, like, I counted it up. I could go from California to New York, back to California, back to New York, back to California, and still not have touched 3/4 of my playlist.
Yeah, that's the way I am too.
On my phone.
I think mine said that it'll play for 48 days straight just on my liked songs.
Something like that, yeah. Yeah, it's fucking stupid.
Insane.
It's stupid. But
It's
you know what?
insane.
I do listen to a majority of the songs that are on my phone.
Me too.
I just fucking click it and go and just enjoy my life with it. And people, like you said, are sheeps. They're just following the mainstream shit. Like, I'll be at a show and someone's like, "Hey, can you play Morgan Wallen's Cover Me Up?" I'm like, first off, hold up, wait a minute. It's Jason Isbell, or however you pronounce his last name. I don't.
Jason Isbell.
Yeah, it's his fucking song. Get it right. Not the bald-headed goofy guy.
Yeah, I don't really, we talked about Morgan Wallen last night. I don't knock anybody for what they do. You do whatever you want to do. Whatever you feel is art, you go do it.
Yeah.
But what I'm not going to do is I'm not going to like something just because everybody else likes
100%.
it. I'm just not. That's just not, it's not the way I'm wired. If I think it's a good song, I think it's a good song. But I also get, like, let's just take Tennessee Whiskey, for example. When I first heard Chris Stapleton's version of Tennessee Whiskey, I was fucking mind blown.
Oh, yeah.
Mind blown. And I was like, holy shit. And that was before it blew up. And, I of course, sent it to people. And I was just like, man, this is so fucking good. Now, I hate that fucking song.
Yep.
Because the sheep have made me hate that song.
Yep.
Same thing with Taylor Swift. I think Taylor Swift is extremely talented. I think she's a good songwriter. I think she's American treasure. I think she's fantastic. I don't want to ever hear anything ever again that Taylor Swift does ever again, because it's just so in your fucking face. And now you're giving 80% of the bandwidth out there to Taylor Swift whenever there's so many other artists that deserve some of the pie.
You want to hear something? You want to hear some shit about music that I didn't know the other day?
Sure.
And I probably shouldn't say this out loud.
Yes, you should.
It's going on social media, and I'm going to get made fun of for this. But I was sitting talking to my girl on the phone the other day. We were FaceTiming, and I was like, smooth talking. Da-na-na. I don't remember the lyrics. And she goes, "I didn't know you were a Hannah Montana fan." I was like, "What the fuck you mean? That's Carrie Underwood." I don't know this song. I've only heard it on TikTok through videos. And she's like, "No, that's Hannah Montana." She's like, "And I grew up liking Hannah Montana, and we have the same initials. So, yeah, no, you like Hannah Montana?" I was like, "The fuck I do." She's like, "If you like the song, it's okay. It's fun. I get it." Yeah. I was like, "No, I don't." I love the damn song, bro.
Dude, listen, man. Shake It Off is a good song.
It is.
It's a good fucking song. Bad Blood is a good song.
Yeah.
Like Welcome to New York is a good song. I'm not saying they're not good songs.
Like The Climb.
I'm just like,
Great song.
Right. I'm just saying that I don't live in a world where I can sit there and listen to the same music over and over and over. Now, listen, I would love it. I would fucking love it if one of my songs become one of those sheep songs. Don't get me wrong.
Oh, yeah.
That would be fucking great. I would love it. But I personally can't do that.
Would you listen to it?
I don't listen to my stuff now.
You don't?
Mm-mm.
I don't either.
No, once I release it, I mean, I'll listen if it comes on. Like if I'm driving down the road and it comes on the like songs or whatever.
You won't skip it.
I won't skip it.
Yeah.
Sometimes I do. Sometimes I'm like, nah, I don't want to hear that.
Well,
shit.
there's songs I skip that I listen to all the time that I love.
Yeah.
It's just I might not be in the mood
Right.
for it.
Same here. Yeah. And what I like about Spotify versus Apple Music is that Spotify is really, really good about recommending new stuff once it figures out what you're into.
Yeah.
Way back, because there was probably like 4 years where I had Apple Music and no Spotify.
What are you talking about? Apple Music don't recommend shit.
Right. And that's Spotify is a much more artist friendly platform.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Here's the reason I have Apple Music. I'm on Apple Music because I've had it for so long.
That's why I was on it.
All my songs are on it that I love and I
Yeah.
listen to, and I'm just not in the mood to go and start all over.
Yeah. I think you
it's
can
so many
actually import your Apple Music playlists into Spotify.
If you can,
I think.
I probably would.
I don't know that for sure, but Philip's the same way. That's why he does Apple Music. Me, or maybe the other way around. I have both.
I mean, I have Spotify. Just if you went and they did that 2023. What your favorite songs were? The whole thing they did.
Yeah.
Mine was 00000.
Oh yeah.
Because I don't ever use it. I have it. I could use it, but I don't.
Oh man, I got Spotify going 24/7.
Do you?
Yeah. Again, it's for multiple reasons. You know, I don't know if you watched last week's episode with Josh Stuckey or not.
I have not.
Okay, but so what I started doing for the last 2 episodes, I started doing an opening section with this when it's just me. And the first week I went through and I talked about what I got coming up, what I just did, but I also go on like a little monologue about something.
Yeah.
And so 2 weeks ago I went off on Texas radio and talked about all that bullshit. But then last week I talked about break music. And let's talk about it right now because you're a newer artist and this is something that could help you out. But the reason I use Spotify is because Spotify is publicly viewed. Like anyone can see anything.
Yeah.
So playlist, like what I do for break music is it's on Spotify. It's called Jeff Canada's Break Music. That's how I have it.
Okay.
And so I put songs on there by bigger artists, but also smaller artists. I put songs that I just think are good energy for the show that I'm playing. Right.
Yeah.
And so I put that on. And what's really cool about that is artists, if you have the Spotify for Artists app, you can go in and look at your analytics and you can tell what songs are on what playlist.
Really?
Right. So I've actually.
So what you're saying is I need to switch over to Spotify.
Well, you maybe not, but maybe just your break music. But
yeah.
But the reason I do that is multiple reasons. One.
Are you talking about break music like at?
But in your breaks, right? If you play a 3-hour show and you take a break.
Yeah.
Like you know how you probably do this. I don't know. You know a lot of artists like jukebox, please.
Yeah.
Jukebox, please.
Yeah.
Jukebox, please. If you're playing shows that you have a break, you've got to stop doing that. Artists have got to stop doing that. And for multiple reasons, I'm gonna tell you why in just a second. But let's go back to the first part, just the break music itself. I've had multiple artists that are kind of bigger than me reach out to me on Instagram and thank me for playing my songs on the break music, because when they go to their Spotify for Artist app, they look and they say, "Oh shit, I'm on Jeff Canada's break music thing."
No shit.
And it's played 20 times this month or whatever, or how many ever times. And and I've made connections with artists just because me playing their music on my breaks. So that's one reason why I use Spotify, because it could be used.
Yeah.
But break music in general, the reason you should always have your own break music is because when you can set up your break music to be the same vibe as your show.
Oh.
right? You know what I mean? So you're picking the songs that you want to play on your breaks.
Shit, they don't got enough whiskey for that.
Well,
Mine's up and down like a damn roller coaster.
well, you can kind of do but what you don't want to do is you don't want to depend on the venue.
Yeah.
And then you go on your break, and next thing you know, they're playing the fucking wobble, or they're playing Cupid Shuffle, or some of this
Sound like my
fucking
mom.
dance shit, right? And then you get back on stage, and now you're having to compete with that shit. Like that's not what you want. But also, man, dead air, it sucks the room. So if it's like, oh, jukebox please, and there's not somebody that's there ready to do that right then and there, then there's dead air.
Yeah.
And you don't want that. Plus, it's really, I used to own a bar, dude. Trust me.
Did you really?
It's really fucking annoying for me with multiple hats on, trying to do multiple things, whether I'm bartending or whatever it is.
Managing.
There's it's annoying to me that I'm gonna have to stop what I'm doing to go put the fucking music on.
Yeah.
So the artist, unless the venue specifically says don't have break music, the artist should have their own break music.
Okay.
So just FYI.
No, that's actually good thing to look into.
Yeah, I'm gonna start doing that at the beginning of every episode, just to kind of help, just to kind of put some. So even if you don't want to listen to the whole interview, at least start going and check out the first 15-20 minutes, because I'm gonna start dropping a lot of those kind of things that I think will really help people out.
Little tips.
Yeah.
Little tips and tricks. What's your intro for your shows yet? Do you have one?
I picked different stuff. We came out on Friday night to Ghetto Boys.
No, I'm talking about this podcast.
Oh, Blame It On Me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't have one like Welcome to the Jeff Sucks Canada Sucks show.
Yeah, it's like it's the song, my song Blame It On Me. It's the music for that. And then my buddy who's a stand-up comedian, Jerry Wayne Longmire, he comes out and says, "Welcome to the Jeff Canada show. But if you get your feelings hurt, you might want to turn this shit off." Or he says something.
That's right. I
those
did hear
lines.
that. Yeah, I did
Yeah.
hear that. Shit, I don't remember. You know who I did? Speaking of comedians, you know who I didn't know sang really good? What's his face? Damn, now I don't even know. It's on the top of my.
Oh shit! Damn, Zach.
I know.
Bringing shit up without knowing what's going on.
I know. He's fucking hilarious. Oh God.
There's a lot of comedians that are pretty good musicians.
Chad Prather.
Oh yeah.
I did not know he could sing. I saw a video the other day of his, I think it was a Christmas song or something that he did.
Yeah. That's so good.
I was fucking mind blown.
Yeah, that song is so. Chad's a good friend of mine, right? And he actually introduced us on Friday night. He came out to the show. And
I probably couldn't hang out with him. He's too fucking funny. I'd be laughing the whole time.
Nah, dude, you could. He's such a cool dude. He's gonna come on here and do the podcast, but I'm waiting to move into the new studio before I get him in here. But he's fucking hilarious, dude.
Yeah, that's why I said I probably couldn't hang out with him. I'd be literally, my sides would hurt the whole time because people like that, people that are just genuinely funny.
You got to get him and I in the same. Hang out with him and I in the same room at the same time.
Fuck, man.
It's an adventure.
I'm gonna be hurting.
I got a picture of me kissing him.
Oh my God.
Like full on the lips.
Oh my God.
Yeah. I keep telling him if he would have got elected governor back when he ran for governor that I was gonna blackmail him with it. And of course he's like I don't give a shit.
He wouldn't give a shit.
No. One day I'm gonna post it. I have it. I just haven't done it yet.
He'd be like, can't be any worse than Monica Lewinsky.
Yeah. He's a good dude, man. I love Chad a lot. And he's just funny, and he's, I voted for him for governor. I don't necessarily agree with all of his politics, but I know he's a good dude, and I know he cares about Texas.
Yeah.
I know he does.
Yeah.
I know from the bottom of his heart. And we could talk politics for a second, like especially right now with what's going on in Texas. But
did you see all the farmers and truck drivers?
Mm-mm.
Yeah, it's been everywhere, dude. They so the farmers guess they got all their tractors and lined them up like up the area where it's all been going down at that park wherever it's at, that main park.
Yeah.
Where they found those immigrants dead. And they just lined up all their tractors and shit and were like blocking for them, and then there's a bunch of truck drivers I guess showed up. I don't know how true the truck driver one was, but it looked like they were making a blockade so people couldn't come in.
Well, let's talk about this real quick, because during COVID, man, I very quickly became a Greg Abbott hater. Like Governor Greg Abbott from the state of Texas, I cannot fucking stand him. Couldn't. I just can't. I can't stand anything about the dude.
I don't pay too much attention to politics.
I do. And I just couldn't. I couldn't deal with him.
So I couldn't tell you much about it.
But now, now he basically sent the Texas National Guard down to the border and kicked out the Border Patrol.
Oh yeah.
Said, see you later. And they put up razor wire, and they're building walls.
Yep.
Building fencing. They're doing all kinds of stuff.
He's doing the thing he should do.
But now it's like 20 other states or 15 other states or something like that are now helping us out.
Yeah.
And what's crazy is the fucking Biden administration is suing him for that.
Ooh.
And let me tell you something. I'll be as honest about this as I possibly can, because I know I have a lot of liberal friends, and I know I got a lot of conservative
Sleepy
friends.
Joe.
I am the most middle of the road person you'll ever meet when it comes to politics.
Yeah.
There's some things I lean left about. There's some things I lean right about. Let me tell you something. The fact, if you at all support Joe Biden, and if you at all support him suing the state of Texas and suing Greg Abbott, because Greg Abbott is trying to shut down this fucking craziness that's coming into this country, you're not a patriot.
There's something like
You're not. You don't love this country, because let me tell you something. That has got. I'm not saying you about support him for anything else. You can support him all you want to.
Oh
I
no,
don't care.
I don't support him.
I know you don't. I'm talking about these other people. Like, I've never judged anybody for voting for the Democratic Party.
How the fuck you fall off a standing still bicycle?
But that doesn't matter to me, dude. He's old as fuck, right? Like, even that doesn't bother me. But I'm telling you what, it really, really bothers me that he's suing state of Texas for this borders things. And if you support that, if you support him suing the state of Texas and all about that, you are against
patriotism,
against closed borders.
Yeah.
And we are a country, and you do not have a country if you do not have borders. So if you're one of these people that are like, let them all in, man, I'm sorry, but you got to fucking go.
Yeah.
Like, I cannot get behind that. I can get behind the pro-choice thing. I can get behind the vegan thing. I can get behind the wanting to see guns go away thing. I'm not saying I agree with it, but I'm saying I understand it. I understand.
Yeah, I see where you're coming from.
I understand you wanting to wear a mask. I understand you wanting to get a vaccine. I understand all that. I don't agree with it. I understand it. I do not understand at all, in any way, shape, or form, how the fuck people can support a president that does not support a state shutting down its border.
So the thing that I like, and I agree with you on that 100%. Like, there's no question I agree with you on that. My thing about it, like, what bothers me with they thinking it's okay to just open our borders, you don't know what's coming in.
Right.
One, you got drugs coming in already.
Yeah.
You're just helping them bring in the drugs. Now, could that be fueling his administration? Potentially. But
or votes or whatever.
Or votes, yeah, and that's another thing.
Yeah.
He lets them in, they're going to come vote for him.
Yeah.
Because they come across that border and get everything they need.
Yeah.
And that's the shitty thing about it. Like, I'm not against people coming to our country. Do it the right fucking way.
I agree. And we need to have immigration reform. We need to make it easier for people to get approved to come into this country.
Yeah.
It needs to be quicker than what it is right now. It needs to, like, we want good doctors. We want good people. We want hard workers. You know, we want all those people. Like, we want, if you have good attributes, we want you in this country. Come on, bring it.
Yeah.
But man, right now the problem is, right, dude, my hometown of Plum Grove, Texas, where I grew up.
Ooh. Okay, now I know where you're from.
Dude, my hometown of Plum Grove, Texas, when I was a kid, was all white, 100% white.
And then you got that big new neighborhood in the back of it.
Now there's 75,000 illegal immigrants that live in that area, and they've pretty much run out all the people that
I know. I used to run roll-off dumpsters, and we had to go to those schools back there they were building.
Yeah.
And it's fucking massive.
It's crazy. It's insane. And so, and then also it just totally demolishes your public services.
Yeah.
I mean, go right now. I dare anyone who's liberal that's for this. I dare anyone to get sick and have to go to the emergency room, because you go to the emergency room, it's 5, 6, 7, 8 hour waits.
Mm-hmm.
Because there are so many fucking illegal immigrants sitting in those emergency rooms every day. This is not me making shit up. This is real.
Oh, no, it's true. I've been to the hospital a couple times.
Yeah.
And seen it. And the last time I went to the hospital, I literally thought I was dying.
And what's hilarious is now New York, because we've been busting them up there, and New York is a sanctuary city. They're starting to be like, we can't handle anymore.
Yeah.
Well, welcome to our fucking problem. We've been dealing with this in Texas for decades.
Yeah. And see, like, my thing about it, like, I'm okay with people coming across, not come legally.
Right.
Come legally. Because I can tell you right now, my way of looking at it is, are you going to get on that roof and shingle it?
Right. I'm not mowing my own yard.
I didn't fucking think you would. I didn't think you're about to get up there in 120-degree Texas heat
Right.
and shingle that fucking roof and do it with a smile. and the much they're getting paid. They come over here and do it with a smile. Just come over here legally.
Yeah.
And another thing that I noticed about it too,
And let's come up with a good worker program.
yeah,
It's fine.
and I noticed the other day though, I've been kind of watching it lately because it's been blowing up, and so I've been paying a little more attention to it. Not really big on politics, but this is right in our back door.
Right.
This is kinda
That's
something
why I'm into it too.
this is something we really need to pay attention to. I don't give a fuck what they're doing in the White House.
Me neither.
That's not my front door, my back door. But
I like your back door.
thank you.
You're welcome.
Sweet of you.
Except you give really, really fucked up reach arounds.
It doesn't reach. But oh my God.
Sorry.
No, you're fine. That's funny as fuck. I've noticed that you know how they say, "Oh, we've been walking for days and days and days," to get to the border. You seen any pictures of them? Any videos of them?
Oh yeah, they're walking. A lot of them.
Yeah,
But they're also getting bussed.
to the border.
Yeah, they're being transported for sure.
Because they're coming across the border really clean cut.
Yeah.
A lot of them look like they just stepped out the house front door.
Yeah.
So, and everybody's like, "Oh, we're just, we're these are all just they're not actual immigrants. They're people that we're picking or some shit like that. The government's picking to come over here."
I'm not a big conspiracy theory, false flag kind of guy. I think that this is what I think. I think that we've developed a way of life that is very, very, very easy.
Yeah.
And very good, even though right now we're struggling financially, obviously, but it's still better than most places on this planet.
Go get a quarter basket full of stuff at Walmart and it's $300.
Yeah. But people want to come to this country because they want greater opportunity for themselves and their family. I do not knock anybody for wanting to come to this country.
Oh, no.
What I knock is the way that it's being done.
Do it the right fucking way.
Do it the right way. But listen, man, we've gotten to the point now that there's going to become a time very quickly where you're going to have a zero immigration.
Yeah.
And the reason that is because nobody's going to come here because we're a fucking joke.
Yeah.
Because we are ruining this country with the policies that we currently have and with the division and with the right wing versus left wing and the
who's running the state.
tribalism. And it's never going to get better. If Trump gets elected, dude, it's only going to get worse. It is. I mean, I voted for him. I wish he would have beat Biden, but it's only going to get worse because he's pushing the right further right, and Biden's pushing the left further left, and
we're gonna have another all-out civil war.
Right, and and right now, this is the groundings for it. I mean, you got a governor that wants to defend the borders, which, dude, you would never hear me give props to Greg Abbott, but, man, I'm glad Greg Abbott is our governor right now.
He said, "Fuck y'all."
Yeah, he said, "Fuck y'all." And I think he learned his lesson during COVID. He kind of bowed down to the federal government during COVID.
Yeah.
And fucked us real good, especially as small business people. He fucked us real good. And so I couldn't stand Abbott, man. And also he's also allowed China to buy so much property in Texas. So much land in Texas, so many businesses in Texas, he allowed that. And so I had a lot of problems with him, but, man, I'm really glad that he's doing what he's doing. I just hope that he has the testicular fortitude to
continue it.
Yeah.
And keep his
right.
strength on that and keep going with it. Yeah, I mean,
but now that you got 17 other states or 18 or 20 or how many ever it is helping us out, man, like that, and I think that number is only going to grow.
I think at some point, with that number growing, Washington's going to realize and be like, okay, what the fuck are we actually doing wrong? And I could be wrong. They are probably just too stupid to be like, oh, well.
Well, it's not even about right or wrong anymore. It's about the only reason this is happening is because it's a Republican governor. That governor's on the other team.
Yep.
And I'm on this team, and I have to fight that other team regardless of whether they're right or wrong.
Yeah.
And it's the same on both sides.
It's whose balls are bigger.
Right, but it's the same on both sides. If it's Republican-led, they do the same thing to Democrat governors. And that's what I was talking about, the tribalism and the teams and all that shit. It's just we've got to figure out a better way to do this, man. We've got to. If not, we're going to be at each other's throats until it gets to the point where violence happens.
Oh, yeah. And I think, unfortunately, think that's going to be sooner or later.
Well, I think we already saw a little bit of it with January 6th, 2021. I think I think the fact that something else like that hasn't happened yet is kind of mind-blowing.
Yeah.
And
I think we're overdue.
Right, and I think this year is going to be fucking wild.
Buckle up.
Yeah, I think it's going to be wild, and I think that I think some people are going to get hurt. I don't hope it. I'm not one of those guys that predicts things that I hope come true. I hope that I'm completely wrong about that. I just don't see a way around it because, dude, I know, like, I see it.
Yeah. And
I see people and the people that I know, real life people that I know, at each other's like ready to go to war.
Yeah.
With each other.
And it's sad.
Yeah,
it's
super
truly sad.
Because I just want to fucking, like, I just want to play music for good crowds that are like-minded folks that just want to have a good time. That's my people.
Play music and practice making babies.
Yeah, man. I don't want to get all political and shit, dude. I don't want to pick a team. I don't want to pick a side. Don't make me pick a side.
Yeah.
But man, I had to pick a side, and right now I'm team Republican right now.
Yeah.
I don't want to be because I got my problems with them too.
My thing is, this is the way I look at it, and everybody's like, you know, oh, you voted for Trump. You voted for Trump. Yes, I did.
I didn't the first time, but I didn't vote for Hillary either. I didn't vote.
I didn't the first time. I did the second time.
Me too.
I didn't the first time because I was out on the road, too busy. I didn't have time.
I didn't because I didn't want either one of those motherfuckers to win.
Yeah, but I look at it this way. I don't give a fuck who you are. If you can do right by this country, by all means, get inside there and start doing it.
Yeah.
Because we've had so many that ain't doing it right.
Agree.
You know, we haven't had. Arguably, Reagan was the best president.
No.
Well, one of the.
He was decent.
He's
the one that started the war on drugs, but
so we haven't had like a really notable president that's like mind fucking blowing amazing.
Bill Clinton was the last president. I know he got his dick sucked, but Bill Clinton was.
Hey, do your thing, bro. Do your thing. I
Bill,
promise you, if I was president and single, well, he didn't.
Or married, whatever.
Apparently, he did.
You're the most powerful man in the fucking world.
Do what the fuck
you
want. Yeah, but like, if I was single, I wouldn't do that. I'm a faithful person.
No, same here.
I would whole ass be like, sure, under the desk. Fuck it. Make memories.
Yeah.
Take those with you when
Well,
you go.
he just got in trouble because he lied about it. Hey, he owned it. Whatever when it happened. But he was the last president to balance the budget.
Yeah.
And to actually we had a good economy under him.
Can we even
he did some shit that was fucked up too. They all do shit that's fucked up.
Every one of them does.
But yeah, I mean, George W. was fucking terrible. Obama was terrible. Trump
had his moments.
He just couldn't shut the fuck up.
Ugh.
Trump's basically like you elected me as president.
Yeah.
And who the fuck wants me as president?
I do.
Well,
Jeff Canada for president.
Yeah, well, good luck with that. Have you ever smoked weed? I'm smoking right now.
You don't think those presidents? Come on now.
Oh yeah, dude. But I'm just we'll get off politics, but man, like being down here in Texas but I have friends on both sides that are so wrapped up in their own ideology that they just can't think for themselves about some things.
And
it's sad. It's sad.
Just this is the way I look at it. Live your life.
Yeah.
If shit hits the fan, shit hits the fan. You worrying about it isn't going to change it.
Right. But I'm talking about, I know people that if something happens, a current event happens, right? Let's say somebody gets shot by a white cop, a black kid gets shot by.
Yeah.
I have friends that no matter what the circumstances were, they're going to side with the black kid that got shot.
Yeah. And
I got friends that no matter what the circumstances were, they're going to side with the cop.
Yeah.
That, my friends, is called tribalism.
Yeah.
That is called I have my team and I'm not going to shit on my team no matter what. And it's wrong. It's not right because
for once in your life, jump the bandwagon.
Yeah. And not only that, the first rule of building a team is you're as strong as your weakest link, right? And so in every other team situation, football, baseball, basketball, whatever, management of a company, CEOs, whatever, board members, you call out people on your team that aren't holding up their end of the shit, and you get rid of those people. But with politics, it's like, nah, man, like, sorry, there's no way that I can side with that guy no matter how right he is.
Yeah.
Because we're not on the same fucking team.
Yeah.
And that right there, that's where that's what's fucking us.
Yeah.
It's fucking us hard, man.
No lube.
No lube.
No common decency of a reach around.
No common decency of a reach around.
Even with a little hand?
Yeah. I mean, I think at this point the government should send about once a month a little massage therapist with a happy ending to each household and each taxpayer in America.
Come on,
because we're getting fucked.
Come on with it.
Like, we're getting fucked, Deshaun Watson style.
Man, he could, yeah, you could call him out like that. Damn.
Why not?
That's funny.
The guy's a fucking moron.
Yeah. Well, I'm not a Texans fan, but they got a good quarterback right now.
They got a good team.
Yeah, they do. I think they're gonna go further than they have. I'm a Vikings fan, so my team did not do great this year, but we did lose some quarterbacks.
Yeah.
But shit happens, and Kirk Cousins is off the Vikings as of now.
Cool.
No.
Yeah, that's good for them. He can't listen. So I was a huge Kirk Cousins fan when he got drafted. I actually wanted the Texans to draft him that year, but he got drafted by the Browns.
Yeah.
And they took 2 rookies that year, to RG3, and they took Kirk Cousins that year. And I was big on the Kirk Cousins, and then he went to Washington, and he did
decent.
Yeah. And then he went to Vikings, and he did okay. He's just, at this point in time in the NFL, you've got to have an elite quarterback. And he's not an elite quarterback.
Not anymore.
He never was. He was never.
Did you
elite.
watch that video?
He was never elite.
Did you watch that documentary thing called Quarterback? With him and Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah.
And who else was it? Was it just them two?
No, there was a few that were on there, but yeah.
That was such a good like insight onto the whole situation, like as a quarterback, and
But like, think about it. If you say Tom Brady, right? Which obviously he's got to be. Tom Brady has to be
He's the GOAT.
He's got to be what everybody strives for, right?
Yeah, he's the top.
Yeah,
he's the top of the food chain that you want to get to.
Right. So you got him, and then you got Lamar Jackson, and you got Patrick Mahomes. So you got, and now you have
Stroud.
C.J. Stroud is up there. You have Jordan Love that's playing out of his fucking mind. You have you got these quarterbacks
Goff
that are out there.
Too.
But Goff is more
mid-range.
Like, the way I look at it, and you got Josh Allen, right? You got these guys that, to me, those are elite quarterbacks. Then you have that next level. That next level to me is like Jared Goff,
Russell Wilson.
Now, Russell Wilson used to be up there in that elite category.
Dog.
And he played out of his mind this year.
Yeah.
But it's like, it's
Purdy.
Purdy does not belong.
He doesn't. It's weird.
Is.
It's weird.
Yeah, he's the one playoff quarterback that probably shouldn't be in that discussion.
Yeah.
But he's a good quarterback.
Yeah,
I'm not, he's kind of like.
He's Mr. Relevant now.
Yeah. Kind of like your guy, Kirk Cousins, or back in the day, Matt Castle, who took over for or even like Case Keenum.
Oh yeah.
Just kind of like good game managers.
Keenum, he was the 2019 when the Texans went to the playoffs. He was the 4th-string quarterback because everybody and their mother got injured.
He took the Vikings to the was it Super Bowl?
No, the Vikings never been to the Super Bowl.
NFC Championship.
Yeah, NFC when they beat the Saints. When Stephon Diggs grabbed that ball off the edge right there with like 11 seconds to go.
Yeah. So he led them to the NFC Championship game. So I put like Goff and Cousins and all that in that same category.
Yeah.
I don't think we ever talked sports on this thing before. I'm
first time for everything.
Huge into football, dude.
Me too, dude.
In
recent years, like it used to be, I just kind of like here and there, but here recently, like this was my first year playing a true fantasy football league, where there was stakes in it. So the guy that lost has to get a tattoo.
Yeah, I don't do the fantasy stuff just because I'm such a hardcore Texans fan. I took 3 years off, so when 2020 happened, I was like, fuck this shit.
I think fantasy league is fun.
I used to.
Not because you're doing the whole fantasy league. You got to focus on your team and, make sure you're trading players or watching your unhealthy ones and, checking their stock and all that crap. I think it's more of the friends that you have in it, the banter and shit. Like, we're in there fucking with each other hard.
Yeah. I used to do $1,000.
No, ours was like a gentleman's thing. Oh, you won. And the loser has to get a tattoo.
I used to do $1,000 league every year.
Fuck that.
Yeah. Never won.
Ours was never any money.
But fantasy is one of those things. I think it's like TikTok. There's good things about it. There's bad things about it. I mean, it makes people watch the game in a much different way.
Oh, 100%.
Like what I found myself doing is like, okay, I really want the Texans to win, but I got Joe Flacco starting on my team.
Yeah.
And I hope he throws 6 touchdowns today, but I hope that
he doesn't.
Case Keenum throws 7.
Yeah.
And I got to the point where I was like, I don't want to watch football like this. So I stopped. I just stopped playing it.
So have you noticed how everybody's saying that the NFL is scripted and all that shit?
People are stupid.
So, and this is why I feel like they're dumb, because they're saying the Baltimore Ravens and the San Francisco 49ers are going to go to the Super Bowl.
Okay.
That may be true. They're both
the 2 best teams in the league this year.
Yeah, and they're they've already called it early, and everyone's saying this is because of the logo and all that bullshit, blah blah blah. And everyone's like, it's scripted. Well, if it was scripted, don't you think Kansas City would go because Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift? You know how many fans that would bring in?
Listen, this is who the Super Bowl is going to be. It's going to be the Detroit Lions and the Kansas City Chiefs.
100%.
That's who it's going to be.
100%. And Detroit's going to win it.
I hope that it's Detroit versus Baltimore, and I hope Detroit wins the whole fucking thing.
Detroit's going to win the whole thing, regardless.
Man, I don't know that Detroit can beat either Baltimore or Kansas City. But
Patrick Mahomes is not playing how he should.
any given Sunday, bro. And that's the way I look at it all the time. You know, the NFL is about matchups.
Yeah.
Any given Sunday, you know, somebody can take somebody out.
But I've watched the consistency of Detroit versus Kansas, and I've noticed that Detroit's consistency is more.
Yeah, but the problem is you just never fucking
That's
know
true too.
what
That is true
magic Mahomes is going to pull out of his ass.
That fucking dive and throw he did.
And you also got a team in Detroit that hasn't been to the playoffs in years. They just won their first playoff game since 1991.
So I saw a video of that. Speaking of that,
And they're going up against the Chiefs, and they'll be going if they're Super Bowl, they'll go up against the Chiefs. Who, I mean, the AFC Championships since what was it, 2011, I think, has had either Mahomes or Brady in the AFC Championship game.
yeah, and but I saw this. He's fucking good. He's good, and there's no denying it.
Yeah.
And I think the reason that I would rather see someone else win, Detroit or hell anybody at this point, is because Brady over and over and over and over again. It just got fucking annoying, and it's becoming the same thing with Patrick Mahomes. I like him.
Really?
Don't get me wrong. He's a phenomenal quarterback. I love Pacheco. I love watching Travis Kelce and all of them play. You know, but it's getting to the point where I'm just like, oh my god, can we get somebody else in there now?
I'm only annoyed. To be honest with you, the only thing that annoys me about
Yes,
the Chiefs
oh my
is Taylor Swift thing.
I was so happy,
You know,
to see the Kelsey, Jason Kelsey just going
Kelce.
fucking shirt off in the freezing cold, just nut to butt, just blasting, having a great time, and it wasn't about Taylor Swift.
Yeah, I just, you know, it's one of those things where I understand she's the most famous person on the
She
planet
is.
right now.
Can
Like
touch her.
nobody, very, very few people get to
Oh, yeah,
that
100%.
level of fame. You know, Michael
Beatles.
Jackson, Beatles. Yeah. Like, you know, it's just Oprah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You just don't
Steve
get
Harvey.
that fucking big.
That-
I wouldn't go that far, but
I had to say it.
you know, you just don't get that massive. You know, most people don't get that massive. So I understand she's the most massive thing on the face of the planet. But man, like cutting to her every time something happens is like,
Here's Taylor Swift.
you know, right? Yeah, like it's just very,
It seems
very
like
annoying.
Kansas has become an entertainment fucking. They're just now with Taylor Swift being there. It's just like they're an entertainment thing. They're not even a football team anymore.
Yeah, well, I mean, I love Travis Kelce and Jason Kelce's
Yes,
podcast. Dude.
yes.
It's fucking great. I love it. So it's cool, and I think it's cool that they're dating. I think that's fine. I'm over the Taylor Swift thing.
Can we go back to
just
football? Yeah.
Fucking
Yeah.
over it.
That's basically what I
altogether.
look at. Just go back to football. Stop fucking worrying about her. Worry about the game. We don't need to see her every 5 fucking
Yeah.
seconds.
Right. No, I 100% agree.
Like,
I agree. And then you know, we're raising a whole generation of people that thinks it's more important to get Taylor Swift tickets to go see her play a show for $1,500 than it is to do the
Yeah.
stuff we really should be
100%.
doing.
Yeah.
You know? And so my girlfriend's daughter, I bought my girlfriend a record player last year, the year before last, and she bought her daughter some Taylor Swift records for Christmas, and it's like every time I go over there, it's
I
Taylor
swear
Swift,
if my
Taylor Swift, Taylor Swift,
if I
Taylor
ever
Swift,
have
Taylor
kids,
Swift.
hopefully one day I do, and they're Swifties, I'm gonna punch them in the forehead. I won't punch my kids, don't worry. But I would think about it. Be like, I just want,
If you punch them with the other hand, is that
that's a good question. I don't know.
like if you smack your kid with your fucked up hand, does
Count as
that,
abuse?
or is that just
Yeah.
same?
I mean,
level?
it is small, so I mean, it's like technically getting hit by a little kid.
Yeah.
I don't know. Listen, that's
Not your
solid,
nub,
bro.
your
That's
hand.
solid.
Not your nub, not your
That's
nub,
gonna hurt.
your hand.
I don't know,
Your
man.
hand.
I can't.
You ever finger banged a chick with that hand? Have you ever had a girl that was into
I've
it?
never had a girl that was like, verbally or was just like, "Hey, I want you to use your little hand." Have I tried? Yes, but I don't. I don't have a lot of dexterity. This is it. So like, there's not a lot there.
But you
Oh,
play
dude.
with the boob.
Oh yes, 100%. It's the perfect hand for reaching around grabbing titty.
Is
Oh,
all
yeah.
is all the feeling there?
Yes.
So you have all the
So
feeling.
like, I can
So you
walk up
still
behind my
pinch
girl and
nipples
fucking grab her like this, and this hand fits perfect. You know, my girl doesn't have big boobs, and she's like, I have small titties. I was like, listen, baby, I got a little hand. It's perfect.
So if we get an implant, if you get implants, you can only get an implant on one tit, babe.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, sorry, babe.
Yeah,
because I want one tit to be perfect for this.
Fit. Yeah.
This
Now,
hand.
and earlier when we were talking about my hand, I was gonna ask you, what do you think the most asked question like I do with my hand? Like, you know, have you, you know, like, what do you think it is? People ask me the most about my hand.
Oh,
no,
you wipe your ass with their hand?
No, it's
what
usually,
is it?
do you jack off with it? Yeah, that is the most. And it's not even like I've tried.
Have you?
Hell yeah. There's like no dexterity there, so like there's no grip. So like,
right, I get you.
What am I gonna get? Loose pussy?
Yeah, and jacking off is all about.
Bro,
the
I've always looked
gripping
at
at
it
the
this
right
way.
time.
Your hand, you can be as tight as you want, loose as you want, wet as you want, dry as you want. If you want to hit rock bottom, throw a thumb over the top. You know?
Yeah.
And
hell yeah, dude.
so this hand doesn't do that for me. Everybody's like, it could be like a new girl. Which one? The hoe down the street? On the corner? Yeah.
The retarded girl down the street?
Fuck. That's fucked up, bro. God damn. Oh, my Jesus. This podcast is going to be a good one. They're going to be like,
whatever,
like
dude.
Jeff, why are you making fun of that kid? Why not?
Listen, I'm making fun of a fucking fictional
Oh, let's talk about me.
retarded girl. Oh, well, hey,
Yes,
I'm always
please.
going to make fun of you, bro, but that has nothing to do with
Thanks.
your hand.
I know.
So, listen, man, we have got to get back to the fucking time
Joke
when
the
we
fuck
can
around?
just laugh
Yes,
about
agreed.
shit, dude. I am over, and you're seeing it happen. Luckily, you're seeing it happen. Luckily, with like this big surge of Joe Rogan and all his friends in Austin and creating this new comedy scene down in Austin, and you're starting to really see comedians come out like Matt Rife
Yeah.
and shit that don't give a fuck
Yeah.
about your cancel shit. And that's the way I am.
Oh, yeah.
Like if you're gonna get offended and you want to not watch this podcast, then don't watch the podcast. If you're gonna go online and post about me saying some shit I shouldn't say, then you can do that because you can only be canceled if you let yourself.
You know what's funny
get
is before
canceled.
I met you, like I was always worried about that. Oh, you got to, dot your I's and cross your T's and worry about what other people think and be careful what you say. Be careful what you say. Now, I'm not a racist person, so I don't say shit like that. But like, I don't give a fuck. I took a note out of your book. I don't give a fuck. And obviously, I've never really given a fuck because of how I was raised. But like, I don't give a fuck what you think.
Right, but you're also not a and I'm not either. Like, you don't do anything out of malice.
Nothing out of malice.
Right, like if I'm making fun of you, it's or if I'm saying something, I'm not doing it out of hate or malice. I'm doing it. My intent is comedy. My intent.
Yeah,
is
and my
be
thing about
funny.
it this way is I look at it this way. You should be worried if I'm not fucking with you. Like if I'm fucking with you, that means I like you. But if I don't
100%.
have anything to say, and if I'm not fucking with you, worry. Because that means I don't give a shit about you. You're not worth my breath.
Right.
Yeah. So
You're not
like
worth
if
my
I'm
time.
fucking with you, know that I like you. Yeah.
I'm the same way, dude. And I grew up in that. That's the environment I grew up in.
Maybe that's why we
had
clicked.
I had two
grew up in the
brothers. I had two
woods.
stepbrothers. Yeah, man. And it's just not even that. That's just the way we. That's just the way we were, man. You just busted balls all the time. This game.
I fucking remember that
this
shit.
thing.
Fuck that crap.
Like that game got fucking famous because it's just busting balls, man. It's just
My own
busting
brother
each
threw
other's
me in a
balls.
fucking toilet, bro.
I think I did some pretty mean
Yeah,
stuff
he
to my
was-
older brother too. But my older brother did some pretty
He
mean
was-
shit to me too.
He
so
was
whatever.
growing up. He was pretty mean to me, but now we're like fucking tight as butt cheeks. I don't talk to him every day because he's got a life and I got a life, and it's what it is. But I could call him right now and be like, "Hey, I need you here in 5 minutes." He'll stop whatever he's doing, even if it's at work. So, but nah, he's fuck with me hard.
Yeah, me and my little brother are the closest. We got really close after my mom died, probably the closest we've ever been. And so I talk to him probably once a week. And my dad, I talk to him probably once a week. My older brother, he lives out by my dad. I see him when I go out there, but we don't really talk.
My
on the
brother's
phone
just not
much.
that type of person.
Yeah,
he
he's
just
not either.
assumed like
And
he came to my New Year's show, and my show started at 9, and he was there probably till like maybe 11. And you could tell that he enjoyed the music itself and seeing me do what I love, but he's not a people person. Like he fucking hates crowds, bro. Like bad hates crowds.
Yeah.
Like he gets a super high anxiety, and he's got to leave. He's got to go. And I understand it completely. That's why I don't like.
100%,
There's
yeah.
certain shows that I'll invite him to, you know, because they're super super important to me. Like if they were like, "Hey Zach, I want you to play Rodeo Houston," you know, okay, all right.
Right.
First person I'll call is my brother and be like, "Hey, buckle up. It's about to be a big one. I need you there." And he'll be like, "All right." Other than that, I don't really invite him to shows because I know that he's not a people person, and I'm not gonna put him in that situation.
I'm making my first official rodeo debut this year for the Houston Livestock Show Rodeo. I'm playing the Miller Lite Lounge the same night that Whiskey Myers was.
Really? No shit.
Yep. So it's my first show. I mean, 2 years ago. Well,
What time are you
okay,
playing?
Let me back up. I'm lying. It's like 4:30 in the afternoon.
Fuck yeah, I'll be
before
there
Whiskey Myers.
because I'm going to Whiskey Myers. Ah.
I got 4. They gave me
Fuck
4
yeah.
free tickets to the show, and so we're gonna go and we're gonna have a good time. It's March 11th, but and I'm lying. It's not my debut because 2 years ago I played the official kickoff party on the steps of City Hall for the mayor for the Houston Livestock Show Rodeo. But I think that was for the mayor, not for the rodeo. I don't know.
Does
how that works. But this will be my official, like, because from what I understand, the way it works is you get booked on the outside in the wine garden, and then you get booked in the Miller Lite Lounge. I skip the wine garden, and then from there, once they know you and they know your product, then the next is the hideout.
Or Trent's Pat.
Right, and then
Fuck yeah.
where Trent's at. Bubba Wesley's there. Peyton Howie's playing the hideout this year. My thing is I don't do enough full band shows to justify them booking.
See, and that's
me
what
for
I'm
that
trying to
yet.
get to. I'm trying to get to that point where I can play the wine, you know, the wine garden and the Miller Lite and then the hideout. Because I've played the Miller Lite is that stage they do that karaoke or the singing contest on. So does it count? Can I say that I've sang at the rodeo if I've sang on that little contest?
Dude, you can say whatever the fuck you want to say, man. If you've sang out there, you've sang out there. I say it all the time, man. Like dude, everybody gets caught up on fucking semantics in this industry, dude. And it's like, well, you didn't really open up for Pat Green because you weren't direct support. Motherfucker, I played on the same stage as Pat Green for a festival. I was third band
roster, on the
thing,
bill.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I opened up for Pat Green. Like, okay, I shared the stage with Pat Green. Is that better? Is that make it? Like, we get so caught up in semantics in this industry, and dude, it doesn't fucking matter. Like, if you
I sang
there,
one song
there.
years ago, and right before Jack Ingram played, over at the park near the pavilion, I opened up for Jack Ingram. Technically, in theory, I mean, in technicality, I played a song, then he got on stage, and I'm.
Yeah, 2 years ago I played Mardi Gras with
So okay,
Three Doors
on
Down.
that,
but I wasn't on the same stage.
So
but I was there.
On that subject, who would you say? I can't say because you have a bigger repertoire than I do. I have mine already. It was really the only person. But who was your favorite? Or the best one you think that you opened up for? Shane Smith Saints. Nice.
Well, those 3 shows I was direct support for, and so there was like this whole different. But we were the only 2 bands on the bill, right? It was just a Shane Smith
Jeff
show
Canada.
featuring, with special guest Jeff Canada or whatever.
In the honeysuckle.
And so, but man, I've played, the War Hippies, fucking phenomenal, dude. I've played with Rick Trevino more times than I can count. Always, just so good. Tracy Bird, I've played with. I'm playing with this whole thing on March with those Randy Rogers deals. Is gonna be fucking
You excited
huge
for that?
for me. I am, and Charlie, Charlie Diggs, dude. Like, man, I love that dude. He's not managing me anymore, but he still really looks after me and still does some cool shit. And we both do. We both help each other out.
I've never met him. I've seen him in passing. I've never actually got to sit down and talk with him. And
a lot of people don't like him.
I've heard, and I mean, everybody has their reservations for everybody, and that's understandable,
But in my opinion, out of all the promoters that I've worked with in this area, he
seems like
the best.
he just gets it. He's goes for it. Like I can't think of any other way to say it. He's like headstrong.
Well, people get mad. People get upset because they don't understand the way nonprofits work. And Charlie is a promoter. That's his job. His job is to promote festivals. Okay, and part of that job to promote festivals is to get people in the building. And part of doing that is saying that you're helping out a charity, right? That's just part of the deal. So he does 1 or 2 charities for every show he does. He's not saying 100% of the money goes to charity, right?
No.
He's not saying that, but he is saying some of the proceeds of this show is going to go to these charities, and he auctions off these guitars at these charities. And so, that's usually what happens. Like what he'll do is, and it's smart, is he'll throw a festival, the ticket sales and all that goes to him to pay for the entertainment, to pay for all that shit, and then he'll auction off guitars, and whatever he makes off those guitars goes to charity. So yeah, they might only be getting $1,000 or $2,000 or $4,000 depending on what he raised on the guitars, but that's $1 or $2 or $3 or $4,000 that charity didn't have.
The people that don't understand that and get pissed off about it is they don't understand the logistics behind the whole festival. That artist isn't coming to do it for free. We can't.
Right.
Like, I do give my time. There are benefits that I do for free.
Me too.
And it's not because I have to do it, to show face or anything like that. I just absolutely love doing it.
Me too.
Yeah.
If I believe in it, I'll do it.
So
I'm doing one on the 20-something of this month out in Liberty for their fire department.
So they don't understand that we got to get paid. We got bills to pay too. We're another fucking human. We got a car note. Just because we might, I'm not saying us or whatever. I'll just say all of us as a whole. We might be rich and famous. Sure. We might be doing really good. Sure. That doesn't mean we ain't got a car note. Because I can promise you right now, Cody Johnson got a car note. Well, he's probably paid off, but it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
He might have a car note.
Yeah.
He might have a boat note. He's got a mortgage.
But so my thing is with Charlie is like he's got to make his money somehow.
He's got bills too.
Yeah. And so I just don't understand it. And I know people that really have a problem with him. And me, like, I can tell you this. I will tell you my own personal deal with Charlie. That guy has been nothing but honest and upfront with me from the get-go with everything. And he's given me some opportunities. He's told me he's told me no on some things.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He's just been completely honest. He's told me, well, I shouldn't do this or I should do this or whatever. But he's always believed in me for what I do and my art and my he's always believed in me or since we started working together and that dude has opened up so many fucking doors for me. And the fact that what he did this for me, right? He wasn't going to have a side stage for this show, and I wasn't on the bill. The one in March, Randy Rogers is the Montgomery Mudbugs in Montgomery.
Let's see what day that is.
Okay, so
I can go.
It's April or March 23rd or 24th. I got the flyer. I'll show it to you.
Schedule.
But basically, what he's doing is normally I've played that for like the last 3 years, but I've always been on like either the first band or second band, maybe third band, like on the bill. Well, this year he's bringing in a side stage, okay. But what he's doing is there's gonna be a Zydeco band on the side stage to kick off the show. Then the next guy goes on the main stage, plays an hour. Then the Zydeco plan's going to play another 30-minute set. Then Wayne Toops is going to go on the main stage. Then we are going to get to play a 30-minute set after Wayne Toops before Dealin' Wheeler. Dealin' Wheeler's going to play an hour and a half, whatever he plays. Then we're going to get another 30-minute set before Randy Rogers. So we're actually going to get to be out playing at night in front of like massive, the big crowd, which I've never gotten to do in Montgomery County before.
And you're technically the band that's going on right before him.
Right. So we're going to, like I said, we'll be on the side stage, but man, what we're going to do is we're just going to go in there and we're just going to kick the crowd in the teeth for 30 straight minutes for 2 sets. I'm not going to play any frou-frou shit. I'm not going to play any filler stuff. It's going to be all fucking bangers. And we're going to win over a lot of the crowd because we do that. And so, man, I'm super thankful for Charlie for doing that. I mean, it's just, man, it was so badass when he just told me yesterday, surprised me yesterday with it. And I was going to go anyway. I was going to go and because what's cool about it is now that I have that relationship with him, I could just go to his festivals and I hang out backstage with all the artists all the time. I did it with a few weeks ago with Trent Cowie and Tracy Bird. And I can't remember
you're living the life I want to live, my guy.
Listen, dude, it's all about, everything in this world is about relationships.
Yeah.
It's about building relationships, man. And you have to be cool. And I know a lot of these artists that can't get on these festivals, and then I go back and I watch the shit they do, and I'm like, well, that's why you can't get on any festivals, because you're not building relationships.
Yeah. You
know what I mean? You're in it for yourself, and you're only worried about yourself. You're not going to go out. How many artists do you think would just go out to a festival on their day off if they weren't on that festival?
Besides you.
I mean, there are some. There's some.
Yeah.
But you have to do that because you don't ever
Yeah.
know what's going to fucking happen. And, like, I tell everybody all the time, so when I play a festival, I'm always the first band there, and I'm the
Yeah.
last one to leave. Because you don't ever know what's going to happen between the time you get there and the time you leave. I mean, I've been called up on stage, even though I'm not, even though I was the first band on the festival, I've been called up on stage by the headliner. I've been called up on stage by somebody that's in direct support. I've gotten to hang out with the headliner. I've gotten to hang out with people, and then I build those relationships with those folks. So obviously, then those people now know who I am. Like Aaron Watson knows who I am. Go down the fucking list. All these guys know who I am. We're not
You don't
friends.
hang out on a daily basis. Yeah.
I'm not calling them, but they know who the fuck I am. When I see William Clark Green or Shane Smith or any of those dudes, when I see them out, they know who I am, and we have a conversation. And you're not gonna get there. You're never gonna get there if you're the artist that sets on his bus or comes to the festival and pulls out as soon as you're done. You've got to be there, man. You've got to hang out. You've got to.
I will say that was probably one of the best concerts I've ever seen. Was actually at the Montgomery County Mudbugs Festival. Was William Clark Green. I think you were there.
Oh yeah,
it was more.
Ago.
Yeah.
That was 2 years ago. Because last year was. No, that wasn't what.
Yeah,
no, that
okay,
was Fall Fest.
When
Fall
I
Fest 2 years
tell
ago. Because
you-
last year was.
When I
Josh
tell you
Abbott, I
that
think.
was the best concert I've ever been to, hands down, that man put on a show. You want to talk about kicking teeth for that hole? That man kicked every single teeth in the house.
Yeah, man.
And
he always does.
His whole band could sing. They could all play something different style, and it was mind blowing.
Yeah, and that's a perfect example. I brought this up talking to Bubba yesterday, but I'll say it again. That night, because I was there, I hung out the whole day. Right, I hung out literally the whole time, dude. I did. I played.
Fall Festival?
I played. Yeah, I think I was
I don't think
third
we
that
had
day.
made it that yet.
I think that was the show I played before.
I was dating
Rick
a girl that
Trevino,
didn't give a fuck about anybody but the main, so she didn't want to get there
Yeah.
until shit started. Yeah,
It happens. But what I'm saying is because I was there, right? If I was the kind of artist to
And
just
leave.
get on my bus or get in a van or whatever and leave, this would not have happened. But, like, I'm there with William Clark Green. I'm in the pit. I'm watching this show because I'm a huge
Fucking
William Clark Green
phenomenal.
fan. And I look back, and there's this young girl. She's probably 8, 9, 10 years old, and she's at the barricade, and she's singing every word of his songs. So I walk over to her, and I'm like, I ask her mom, I was like, can I bring her backstage? And her mom was like, yeah. And I told security, I was like, hey, grab her. So I picked her up and picked her up over the barricade. And then I told security to grab her mom and bring her back. And I took them backstage, and we got up on the rail. I got a picture of it. We got up on the rail.
I think I've seen that.
I posted about it not too long ago. We got up on the rail, and dude, but now her and her mom are my fans now. They've come out to my shows because of that thing. If I would have just got on a bus and left, that thing would have never happened. So every single Bubba and I talked. That was the theme of our podcast last night. Was every single handshake matters, because it does. And if you're on your own and you're secluding yourself from other folks, you're missing out on
it's like
possible handshakes.
It's funny because we call them super fans, but they're really close to me. I consider them my sisters now, and but to my friends and their mom, they are at almost all of my shows when they can be. If they can't be, that's fine. And their support is amazing to me. They come to all my band shows. They're there helping if we need it. Like their mom will help with merch if I need them. We need them too. And you're right about every handshake counts. Like I played a private event not too long ago, and there was people at that private event that came out to my show in Sealy the other night. And Sealy's not close to where they were, but they came out. And so I agree with you. You never know who you're going to meet and when you're going to meet them. And that could change your life instantaneously. Like you said, you helped that little girl, go see the show a lot better in a different way, and you got a fan from it.
Yeah, and then Will got off the stage and gave her a hug and took a picture with her and all that stuff, and it made her whole life. And that, to me, what's crazy is some of the coolest things that have ever happened to me happened because I was just there hanging out. I mean, I tell you what, I didn't meet Will the first time. I didn't meet Will the first 2 times I opened up for him. I didn't meet him because I'm not a door knocker. I'm not going to go knock on somebody's bus. And then Trent Cowie opened up for him over at District 249. And so I went and was hanging out. I went to go hang out with Trent and see Will. And then we ended up that night on his bus, and that was the first night I actually had like a legit conversation with him. And we had like a good 20, 30 minute, maybe an hour conversation, me, him, and Trent on the bus, just talking and just having a great old. He went down with. I asked him about his past and that sort of stuff. And then that next show I played with him was that show you're talking about, and I was hanging out with Jesse Robb Jr. in the green room, and him and Jesse Robb know each other. And Will came in, and then he remembered me, and we started talking. And now every time I see the dude, regardless of where we're at, he always like comes up and gives me a fist bump or a hug or like, "Hey man, good to see you," that kind of thing. But like, I opened up for Kevin Fowler one night, and then after the show, we're all just backstage drinking, chilling, and meeting people, and then I've opened up for Kevin Fowler twice since then, and both times he's come out and just like, he slapped me on my ass one night.
I could see him doing that.
You know, it's like Wade Bowen did too, but it's like
it seems like
you just gotta be there, and if you're not there because you're too good, or you're not there because whatever reason you had to leave the show, sometimes you gotta leave. Like sometimes I have to leave because when I played at Texas Birthday Bash last year, I had to leave immediately because we had a show in Stephenville the next morning.
I've heard we had this conversation before.
We had to roll out, so that happens too. But man, if you can 100%. Do it, you should do it, because you never know what kind of opportunity is going to present itself.
Conversations you have with them, like me, for instance, like when I opened up for Doug Stone, I know was mind blowing to me. And,
I got to open for him too.
Yeah, and so before the show, his fiddle player is actually his wife, and she was kind of not nice, and she's like, "Everyone has to leave. Everyone's got to get out of here while we do our sound check." Well, I'm direct support. I didn't have to leave. So I'm just chilling in there, and he sits down, and I didn't even realize this. I mean, he wasn't wearing, he wasn't dressed up. He was just in overalls and a T-shirt, and pulled out this guitar, and I thought, I'd seen younger stuff of him when he was younger, so I didn't really recognize him. I'm like, man, that's a nice Taylor. We sat there and talked about it for the longest time before someone was like, "Hey, Doug," and I was like, holy shit. I've been sitting here with this man this whole time and didn't even recognize him. But we just had the conversation. I never fangirled over him or anything like that. I love his music.
Yeah.
And it's very humbling to have a conversation with him, like they're another normal human being. And
that's only you're only get more of those opportunities, man. Like, I've been doing this a long time, but I've gotten to do that with Randy Travis. I've gotten to do that with Tracy Bird. I've gotten to do that with Clay Walker. I've gotten to do that with Rick Trevino. Gotten to do that with Doug
Randy
Stone.
Travis.
Gotten to do that with Andy Griggs.
Randy Travis, I might struggle a little bit.
I did.
I would struggle a little bit.
Trust me.
But I would try my hardest.
He was by far the most. But I've also done it with Blue October. I've done it with Papa Roach. Yeah, I've done it with the original, with Josie in the original lineup before. What was that metal band? Click Click Boom.
I don't fucking know.
No. Josie Scott. I think they're from Texas. Like a hard rock metal band. They had that Click Click Boom song.
Click Click. Yeah.
Yeah, I love that too.
I know the song, I just didn't know who sang it.
Yeah, I've gotten to do that with all kinds of folks just because I was there, because I was hanging the fuck out. And so you got to do that, man. You got to do that. And listen, like, I know that you're like, I know you're going to be dating girls. I know you got a girlfriend. But let me tell you something. If you want to do this and you want to do it for real, I'm trying to say this without being a total asshole, because I still take Candace's opinion into it. But like, sometimes you just have to upset them. Sometimes you have to tell them, "I'm sorry, I have to do this." But it's just gonna have to happen.
Oh yeah, no, I agree with you. But like, as far as like this has to happen, I'm not just I'm not gonna go making out with chicks. I'm not gonna be fucking around with bitches like that.
No.
Like,
I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about more of the long lines of she's texting you and wants you to come home.
No.
And yeah, you definitely want to go home. I want to go home to Candace every fucking night. Like, I don't want to hang out. I'm ready to go. But I also know that sometimes I just have to to do it. And it sucks. I mean, dude, last year I went to Steamboat. Like, Steamboat falls on Candace's birthday. and she cannot go. And so 2 years ago, I didn't go because it was her 40th birthday. We had just been dating, and she's never really had a good birthday party thrown for her. So I chose not to go to Steamboat. I stayed here, and I threw a big party at Rowdy's. And then, but last year I'm like, sorry, I've got to go, and I went. And she wasn't extremely happy that I was on that trip without her, but she couldn't go. But she also supported
what you're doing.
You know what I mean? It was like one of
and
those.
I will say
things.
this, and I've noticed, and honestly, like I have all my friends, in my circles and stuff like that. Like my buddy Tyler Trantham, his now wife, they just got married. His wife is super supportive. My buddy Jacob Kimbrough, the Kimbroughs. His wife, they're both very supportive. They're at all their shows, and my girl, like, she's supportive, but she's not at all my shows, and that's okay.
Right. You don't want your girl at all.
I'm just like, leave me alone. I'm just kidding.
No, it's not that. It's just you just don't want that, because then they're going to get bored and old with it, and then they're going to start resenting you because they're at this fucking show. They've already seen it 1,000 times.
And
they'd rather be doing something else.
But she knows, my girl knows that I'm going to do this, and I told her that I'm going to run this till the brakes fall off, until the tires fall off. I'm going to run it till I can't no more. And if she didn't like it, there's the door. No hard feelings. There's the fucking door. And in the beginning, she wasn't really, supporting, and that's okay. I get it. It's very hard. She isn't the first one. And if we didn't come back to each other, she wouldn't have been the last one. But she came back, and we started, working on things, and she's shown more support, and I'm very appreciative of that. And that was the biggest thing. Right. I don't need anything else. I don't. I just need you to support my dream. That's all I want.
Well, what I tell Candace all the time is like she is the most important thing in my life. I mean, other than my kids, she's the most important thing in my life. And I absolutely would choose her over music if I had to. Yeah. If I had to. But I also don't want to be with someone that is going to want me to choose them over music. I had
dated a girl for 5 years, right at 5 years, and she tried to make me choose. And we met singing. Fell in love together, fell in love over music. She gave it up and wanted me to give it up too. And for lack of better words, I told her, would you like me to take you to the bus station or drive you home myself? Now, granted, she lived across the street, but that was just me being petty. And but
right. But that's the way it should be, man. What it is their insecurities, right? We should be able to do what we need to do as long as we're not doing things that we shouldn't be doing. But you should also support them the way they support you. Like Candace, for example. She went to Vegas not too long ago by herself, or her and her friend. If you're the kind of person that is going to get upset with her going to Vegas with her and her friend, but yet you expect her to be okay with you going out on the road,
wrong.
That's not right. So what I try to do is I try to support Candace in all her dreams. I try to be her biggest supporter. She, like I said, got her up on stage the other day. Like, I try to support her in all the things she wants to do. So we do that for each other. But we don't have all these insecurities about, well, if he's out on the road, he's going to fuck around on me. Or if she's out doing this, she's fucking around on me. We did have that earlier in our relationship because both of us had a lot of trust issues. But we're not like that anymore. And so if she's going to go out of town for a week, go. She goes to Rowdy's and goes dancing sometimes. And it's like, go.
Peace out, girls.
Go. I'm working, I think I've even watched her daughter while she went out and did it one time.
You should. You have to. You have to have your own life, and then you have to have a life together. And my girl's younger than me, and I've told her that. I was like, look, first you got to have your own life. You got to be happy. So if she wants to go out with the girls, by all means go. You know where I'm gonna be. One, I'm either gonna be doing music, I'm gonna be at home playing my video games. I'm not gonna be hard to find. Like, there's this whole thing, oh, she's probably out cheating on you right now. Guarantee my girl's laying in bed watching TV, eating some kind of snack. 100%.
Well, dude, I'll get text messages. I mean, this hasn't happened. It's happened a couple times, but like Candace will be at Rowdy's and she's dancing with somebody. I'll get a text message about it. And I'm like, Candace knows my rule. My rule is no more than 3 dances for a guy that you don't know. Because if you do, that's even too much, but I also want her to go out and have a good time. But the problem is with dudes, I know how dudes are, and then they start thinking, no matter if you have a boyfriend or not, they think that they have a shot. You're leading them on.
My thing is, like, with it, if they're going to do it, and that goes for guys and girls, if they're going to do it, they're going to do it, and there's nothing you can do about it.
They're going to do it.
But just know that I will find out. I will find out.
Yeah,
And I'm not,
yeah.
go do your thing. You do it. I'm going to find out. And that's it. I'm not even going to be like, well, no, we can, no, bye. It's done. It's
done.
that simple.
And I've done it. Like, I cheated on my ex-wife. And it took me a long time to forgive myself. I will never, I will never do it again because I will never have that feeling in my stomach
It's rough,
like I
man.
had
It's rough. I've been
ever again, man. I'm never going to be, I'm not, like right now, my phone is up. My phone is up all the time. She has my code. She never goes through my phone, but she has my code. If she wants to look something up, I give her my phone. Like, my phone is up all the time because I'm not scared of who's texting me. For the years I didn't, now in my truck I got the Apple Play or whatever, and it pops up that somebody texted me. For years I would turn that shit off. I never had any notifications on my phone because I was always scared of who was going to text me.
See, I keep my phone on silent. That's just for me.
Mine's on silent,
but like,
for sure.
Haley,
me
she's
too.
got my PIN. Does she remember it off the top of her head? No. Do I have to remind her when she wants to use my phone? Of course.
Yeah.
But it is no.
But I have nothing to hide.
And I did. I fucked up, and I did recently, and I did have something to hide, and she found it, and we worked it out. I made a mistake, and I owned up to it, and I apologized, and it's not going to happen again. And so,
I have nothing. I know, Candace, she still has these triggers from previous relationships, and she doesn't believe 100% that I don't have anything in my phone. But I'm telling you right now, between like you, me, her, the world, whoever, if anybody wants to go through my phone, they can. There is nothing on my phone.
Damn.
No.
Damn it.
There's nothing. Dude, I don't even entertain conversations anymore since I've met her. Since the day I met her. This is true. Since the day I met her, I don't even entertain conversations. If a girl comes up to me and starts hitting me at a show, I immediately say I have a girlfriend. Immediately. Or that's the first thing that comes out of my mouth when I meet anybody is I talk about my girlfriend.
They never even get that chance because like when I'm on stage, like I usually, if she's not there, I usually say something about her, And like I'll play. There's a Love by Coetzel and Parker McCollum, and I do that one, and I usually say something along the lines of, if I didn't learn this song, my girl's gonna kick my ass, and so
me too. But here listen, we all know there's people out there that give no fucks about that, but we also can't get off stage and be dicks to people. And that's what that's what Candace and I have had a lot of conversations. She understands now. She gets it. She knows how it works. I'm not gonna if a hot chick comes up and starts talking to me, it doesn't mean she's hitting on me. But I'm gonna be nice to her until it gets to the point where
and see,
I
like
gotta
that
cut
was
it off.
with my ex. I'm not gonna say her name, but like that was the problem with her. She supported my music. She would help me book shows, and she was fucking phenomenal at it. But if a girl she thought was pretty or a threat come up to me and just said hi, oh shit, was I in fucking trouble? Oh, I was in trouble.
Yeah.
I didn't even do anything. But with Haley, Haley's like, yes, sir.
Yeah, and that's the way I am. Listen, if I'm on stage and some guy's out there talking to her, do you think I'm getting fucking mad? Like, she's fucking hot.
Yeah.
Like, buy her a drink. I don't give a fuck.
Two of them. Bring one to me.
Yeah. Yeah, like I don't love drink. I mean, I tell you who's gonna get the benefits of her drinking that tequila that night. It ain't gonna be you.
Yeah.
It's gonna be me.
Stupid.
And so it's like, I don't know, man. I just don't have those insecurities anymore like I did. Like I said, when we first started dating, I definitely did.
I love it when a guy buys my girl drinks.
Me too, man.
One,
like,
less I gotta spend.
Cool.
And two, I get the fucking reward at the end of the night. Stupid.
Right. Like, who gives a shit, idiot? I just don't think. I honestly don't think she would ever cheat on me. And I know for a fact that I'll never cheat on anyone ever again. I'm just not. I tell her all the time, like, well, first of all, she's my dream girl, dude. Everything about her is exactly what I want in a woman, dude. From looks to fucking
unicorn.
attitude.
You found your unicorn, huh?
Dude, I mean, she's my dream girl, and I tell her that all the time. And so I'm just not going to fuck that up. But I also, even something that has nothing to do with her, I just do not want that feeling in the pit of my stomach ever again about anything. And that's why I don't lie to people, and that's why I'm bluntly honest, and because I want everyone to know exactly where they stand with me. I don't want anybody to have to wonder, well, I wonder if Jeff Canada likes me or not. If you
have to wonder, that means he doesn't like you.
No, if you right, exactly.
You got to think about it. That means he doesn't like you because he hasn't fucking set it up.
Let's see, we've been going for 2 hours, 18 minutes. That's nothing, dude. Me and
No,
Bubba went for like 3 hours last night. No, yeah, we're gonna shut it down, man. Do you got any new songs coming out?
Just cut ties right now. I got stuff I'm working on writing. I'm kind of on a block right now of a blank. I'm just like kind of running blank right here. Like I'm writing the lyrics. I'm just not being able to put music to them. But I'm trying to push out cut ties. Me and my good buddy Tyler Trantham wrote it, and he is fucking phenomenal, dude. You haven't. I'll have to get y'all introduced up, man. He's a good cat, and him and my buddy Reno. I mean, I think you've met Jacob Kimbrough. My buddy Reno. He actually is my rhythm guitarist. We're doing this monthly jam over at Marshall's coming up here starting in February till August. Once every first Thursday, it's gonna be me, Tyler, Jacob, and Reno, and we're all gonna be fucking around. Well, do you want to come sit in with us on May 2nd?
We'll talk about it. I gotta look at the calendar. See where
Tyler,
yeah, I'm down for
having a baby girl around that time. And so
cool.
He might
Congratulations, Tyler.
He might not be available for that day, unless the baby comes early or late, whatever. You know that shit. I keep telling him it's gonna come April 23rd, my birthday, but
I played a show the night Brody was born. I got off work and got to the hospital.
Baby came.
And
nice.
Yeah.
But I'm working on Cut Ties. Like I said, me and Tyler wrote it, and it tells a story about what I went through with my ex-girlfriend and how I was so hung up on her. And like she would call me 2 o'clock in the morning. I'm in bed. I'd answer. She'd be like, "Can you come get me from the bar?" And my stupid ass would, many a times.
Mm-hmm.
And I'd wake up, next door the next morning. And so we wrote a song about it, and like one of the main lyrics on it is I wake up next to you full of regret, hating the truth. And so when I asked him to help me write it, it came naturally for me because I lived that whole situation. Yeah. And it's coming out. I'm trying to get it out. I know it wasn't going to be the end of this month, so somewhere in February I'm going to try to push it out. Maybe.
So what you need to do is get your master done. And get your artwork
that's gonna
done.
Be a fun one. I think I have an idea how I'll do it.
And then you need to give yourself 6 to 8 weeks
pushing
of before the song comes out. So like 6 to 8 weeks of you promoting the song that is coming out. Do some small little acoustic videos, that sort of stuff. Need to post about it every day. Don't think you're posting about it too much. Dude, I post to social media 10 to 15 times a day.
I didn't even notice.
Yeah.
I'm also that's my biggest problem.
But it's because most people don't see every post. That's why you have to do it.
Social media. I struggle with it, but that's a topic for another day.
Dude, I posted probably 3 times a day, every day for 3 straight months about my birthday show, and I still had people say, "I didn't even know you had. I didn't know you were gonna be there." So that's just part of social media. It's part of the deal. So you just have to fucking don't think you're gonna post too much because you won't, because most people don't see it, and so. If they get annoyed by it, they get annoyed by it. Those aren't the ones you want on your
there's people I have
anyway,
to tell myself to go check out. Like for you, I have to remind myself, hey, go look at Jeff's shit. Go look at Tyler's shit. My close people, because I forget. I'm not a social media person. When I'm on TikTok, I love to just scroll. Like I have videos on TikTok. Don't get me wrong. I got over 1,000 followers. I can go live if I want to. But like,
same here.
I just like to scroll through TikTok and find new music, man, and look at dogs and cats.
Well, on your Facebook, so do you have a personal page and an artist page, or you just have a personal page? Well, the one thing I recommend you doing on social media immediately is disengaging your personal page. I mean, keep it, but don't use it. And just do everything from your artist page. Everything, no matter what it is. Like you taking a shit, I'm taking a shit. Or everything through your artist page because you got to get that page getting the views. You got to get that page getting the tags. And also, if you never go back over to your personal page and on your artist page, you're only following the shit you want to see.
Yeah,
that's all you'll see. So like when I log on, I don't do a lot of scrolling, but I'm more output only. But when I do log on and I scroll for 10, 15 minutes, I'm only seeing the artists. I'm not seeing all the political shit. I'm not seeing anything. All I'm seeing is the artists' stuff. And I like it, a lot of it, and I share some of it.
Yeah.
And and do that too, man. Like do as much cross-pollinating you can do with fans of other artists. Do it because that helps out a ton.
Speaking of literally, this is what you consider cross-pollinating. It's fucking stupid. I was posting about my show at the Table of Maidley that's coming up on the 27th, and fucking some dude. I think it was Stable. It could have been some other show. I don't remember. But this dude literally posted his single or some release that he was doing in the comments. It's like, come check out my shit. I'm like, that's one way to do it.
Fun.
I was like, wow. That's.
Yeah, I don't do that,
Yeah.
but I do have other artists that do that. And listen, man, I don't knock anybody's hustle. I was really upset about the @followers thing or the @everyone thing, dude. But finally, after 3 weeks or 3 months or whatever of going through and trying to figure out how to disengage that, I finally figured out how you can turn it off the artist page. And so I don't see it. Because that's a little much. When you're doing that, that's a little much. Now you're just forcing people to see your shit. And I just, I might use it if I have to do something that's like very, very important, but I've yet to use it. Yeah, but man, social media is where it's at, dude. It's not about the songs anymore. And what I really recommend you doing, if you can do this, how many original
right
songs do you
now
have?
that I could push out? Probably, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 5 or 6.
Okay. What I recommend you doing is I recommend you not worrying so much about the full production of songs and trying to get a recording of every one of those songs that's decent quality, and that way you can start pushing out, because you really need to release a song every 12 weeks. That way it gives you 6 weeks on the front end to promote it, 6 weeks on the back end to promote it. Then after that soaks up, you start promoting the next song for the next 6 weeks, and then it comes out, same thing. And so that's what I'm doing this year. Unless I can figure out some way to get the money to finish the record, but
just start an OnlyFans.
But the thing is, it doesn't have to be full quality. I mean, hopefully, what'll happen is you'll release one of those, it'll take off, and you'll make money, and you can go in and record a full version of it, and then you get double the pop from it. So that's also something I'm going to start doing. Is I'm going to start releasing multiple versions of the same song. Yeah. Yeah, what I really want to do is I want to release a version of just the scratch tracks and scratch vocals, and then release a version that's just like bass, drums, acoustic, and then release a version that's like full, and let people hear the progression of.
That's gonna be sick.
Yeah, I think that's what I'm gonna do. Something along those lines. I don't know, man. I'm all over the place. You know me. I'm trying new shit every day. So that's all I can recommend. But hey, let's get out of here, dude.
It was
so
pleasure
good talking to you, man. You're awesome. I'm gonna try to come out on the 27th. I'm actually off this Saturday, but I also have something else to do too, so I can't remember. But I love Frank Jackson there at Table Madeley, and talk to him also about joining up with Smith Music while you're at until you got the song coming out, because he's the guy.
He's the guy. He's a great guy.
Like him, dude. Peyton, my buddy Peyton Riley, man, sold that first artist to sell that place out.
I was happy for her.
Me too, man. She is my little homie, dude. Yeah, I love her to death. I love her.
She's gonna be something. Definitely going to be something, and I'm super excited to see where it goes. And I love it real quick. Like, I love it. Like, even if I don't, get to where I want to be with my music in my life, watching these other artists that I know achieve things, it's just like me. It is. It really awesome. Makes me happy. And
me too.
I can only imagine. Like, I've felt that way to an extent because I've played for big crowds. I can only imagine how she felt knowing that she sold it out before she even played it. That's just excitement. For her first
it's
band
insane.
Show. Not her fifth one, not her sixth one.
My first ticket event ever was Do-Si Do Big Barn.
My first ticket event ever was, I don't remember.
It's insane.
I think it was Doug Stone.
All right, man. Let's get out of here, dude. Keep writing music.
Keep
kicking ass.
You as well. Appreciate you having me on here.
2.5 hours of just talking shit.
We caught up. That's what we did. Yeah,
we did. Had a good time. We'll do it again. I'm gonna have repeat guests on all the time. You're a good guest, so it's nice to have guests on that engage.
I think that's the whole purpose of this whole thing right here.
Sometimes they get on here and it's kind of hard to get stuff out of them.
Yeah, they'll get it one day. They'll lighten up one day.
I'm just trying to help out. All
right, man.
All right, brother. Let's get out of here. Later.